What's going on, Internet? The Black Okage here, aka TBH. And beyond, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Game Illuminaughty podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned in to episode 196. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know this show is available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. If you're watching on Apple or Spotify, please rate the show 5 stars. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and then the hype button. When you hit that hype button, the show will appear on YouTube's new hype charts, which helps bring in new viewers for the world's best weekly gaming podcast. If you like social media, follow us there. We drop daily content on our pages. We're available on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, Discord, and Facebook. Our handle on most platforms is at GI Updates, with the exception being Facebook. It's facebook.com/GI Podcast. Links to all our social media platforms will be in the description box below at youtube.com/GI Updates. Now, without further ado, allow me to introduce you to my co-host, the first of which has been edging himself ever since the first footage of Cyberpunk Edge Runner 2 has dropped. Ethos. Say what to the people.
True. True. Yeah.
He said, where you going with this?
I was a little worried. I was like, where this guy's going? But yeah, you know, we're edging hard for these new characters coming out. So they all look awesome. People are making the reference that they look exactly like Naruto's starting Squad 7. So that's actually pretty funny because I actually see a lot of resemblance. So we're excited for it.
Okay. And my second co-host is one of the only 5 people on Earth demanding EA brings back Wild Hearts because she can't get enough of haunting monsters. Miss 5,000 Watts, say what up to the people.
Hello. This was brought on by Monster Fantasy, which, if you have seen that trailer, oh dear great heavens, what is that game doing? Ooh,
I saw your reaction on TikTok.
Yes, yeah. So just like a quick TLDR, there was a game called Monster Fantasy. They put out their first trailer, and all of their animations, from the monsters to the weapons, are just straight ripped from Monster Hunter, which made me feel nostalgic for a Monster Hunter-esque game that was actually unique and fun, which is Wild Hearts.
Okay. Somehow I missed that trailer. I'm going to look that one up.
Oh my God, you're going to have to look that one again.
And last but not least is the man who dreams of one day pulling off a complicated 3-hit combo in any fighting game he ever plays, like some of his favorite heroes in the top 8 at EVO going on right now while we record. UTX Modern Controls the Don. Say what up to the people.
I would have expected a little better from you, man. This one was a little weak, man. This one was a little weak. Anyways,
still haven't done one.
Through recommendation from my good friend Ethos, I now have the Magic the Gathering Marvel superheroes pack. I'm getting into cards, trading cards.
Wait, what inspired that? What inspired that?
One, I want something that you know, after a little bit of time can go up in value, because I got very sad when the first edition Charizard is going for $850,000. I never would have known, man. Never would have known. I actually had some. And so I'm very sad. So I want to get in. On that. But 2, I don't really like Pokemon anymore. So I don't want to try that. I do want to get into some stuff that my kids and I can enjoy together. So I don't want to be the fraud and be like, hey, y'all like Pokemon, but I don't really like it anymore. So Marvel was, you know, one of the things that I have been into for a very long time. So I was like, yeah, I want to get into Marvel. Ether was like, the Marvel MTG cards are coming. So I was like, all right, I'll pick one up. So I owe him some pack openings.
Yes, sir. Yes. How many packs you get?
I think it's like 4 in here, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Siggy almost. He's been talking about the rookie cards for like sports and stuff like that. And I was like, I do know a lot about basketball.
Man,
I might fuck around and try to start finding rookie cards too, because like it just seems like that's where the money going.
Man, can I do a money spread real quick?
What you got for us?
Says show y'all. Look, I got some Lions trading cards. I don't know how much.
That don't look like absolute Batman.
Oh, I'll get the absolute Batman. I'll get the box out. And you know, we got Monty, R.I.P. He's gone. But we still got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then we also got Gibbs. This is a Gibbs card from his rookie year. So we got those keys. I flex a little bit harder. I got it.
I just didn't know. When did
got $300 VV? Bro. You know, nothing crazy. Just a $300 VV card.
Don't stone them too hard.
Sports cars have always been
just for watch. We got a waifu card
first.
too. This is another $200 signature spell.
He got the thick protectors on them joints too.
Yeah, you know we got the top loaders, bro. We don't play
Naruto coming too. TBH. Bandai Namco.
Did I tell y'all?
On the Naruto one.
I kind of feel dumb because they actually invited me. I could have got early access, some free booster packs for the Naruto TCG. They said,
why you do it?
Because I didn't know if it would be big or not. They was like, "Do you want early access?" I was like, "I didn't know," and now I see people talking about it. I'm like, "Fuck, man!"
Yes, bro. It's funny because Naruto already had they have Mythos out, which they're kind of now they got to try to pivot. Even though they said we're not going anywhere, but since Bandai Namco is officially doing their Naruto TCG, we're going to see. I think that one's going to hit.
Yeah, they just asked me to crack some packs opens for like a TikTok, and they would give me early access before anybody.
Bro, you should have.
You fucked up.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Hey, but I got them Batmans though. Shout out to Absolute Batman. If y'all missed it, it freaking got greenlit for a TV show. I got them joints, so it's like
people were calling you out in the comments on Twitter for your Absolute Batman.
Yeah, they were like,
it's
I have a second printing
generation or whatever.
I have a second printing of the first issue, but everything else is a first printing of all the key issues.
Dang,
basically.
fraudulent. That don't matter.
Because I don't have I'm like, bro, this is still worth money. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
No, actually, let's see. That's not. It's orange, not yellow.
What's your best Absolute Batman you got, TBH? What's the most like flex variant?
Your holy grail so far.
What variant you got? You got any variants?
I got a couple of variants, but I don't have any of the ones that's worth like a lot of money because my shop never has them. So like I got all the A covers for like the key issues though. You got one of the joints that's big? One of the rare ones?
Yeah. I might have some in the box, some just I got a couple of foil variants just hiding in a box somewhere.
I know somebody's watching this right now. Be like, I thought this was a fucking game.
Catwoman's worth a lot.
All relates, man. It's nerd culture, y'all. Nerd culture.
Well, go ahead and flex something. What you got? What you got on your back wall? What's the flex you got?
What you bring back from Japan?
Yeah, what you got? Yeah, what flex on somebody real quick. What you got?
Statues over there.
Oh, okay.
They do look expensive.
They do look expensive. How expensive? How much you dropping on that? With that 300, 600?
I think they're 500 each.
You're broke. You hear that?
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
You guys are broke. When we talk about GTA, don't call us broke. We showing you right now we got broke. It got nothing to do with price.
Oh my goodness. So before we get into the news, there was no new crazy games came out in the last week, but I did come across this viral tweet, and I just wanted to ask y'all that before we get into the news. So there's a tweet that went viral from RDC World. They were talking about it on their stream, and the question was asked to Mark: would you rather spend 6 months in prison or be in jail until your mom completes Elden Ring with no help? Which one would you take? Do you think your mom would be able to beat it? Yeah. Would you rather just do 6 months straight? Or tell your mom I can get out whenever if you beat Elden Ring. Which one would you have?
Did she look online, or is it like no?
No help. She just has to beat Radon.
I'll take 6 months.
I'll take 6 months as well. My mom can't do it.
That's hard because my mom is a gamer, but like Elden Ring is long. So would she complete it with no help within 6 months? I mean, if it meant setting me free, she might actually. Yeah, I think she'd probably.
I don't think my mom has played a video game in her life.
Yeah, my mom plays games, so I think I'll go with my mom. She introduced me to Resident Evil and Tomb Raider and Final Fantasy.
That's awesome. Your mom was the go damn, all right.
My parents introduced me to games too, but the thing is, like, that was the NES era. They really hadn't played games since like the PlayStation, so I wouldn't have faith. I'd take that 6 months. I don't think they.
My mom
if I can help them
too, so I think she might.
Your mom.
It's recent. It's recent enough.
My mom thought Pokemon were the devil, so I don't think I'm getting out in 6 months.
Even if I help my mom, I don't think her hand. She's 60 something years old. I don't think her hand-eye coordination is getting it done. Even though we have seen some grandmas and grandpas do it like in FPS, I don't think she could.
Not in 6 months.
Not longer. Not 6 months. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time.
Last time I saw my parents last summer, they was my dad brought up video games. He was like, "Man, since you was a kid, the games have just changed so much. I can't keep up with it no more." I'm like, "Yeah, you getting?" Yeah. It's a really weird phenomenon as you get older to watch your parents get older. You forget that, like, because in my head they're still what they were when I was younger. I'm like, oh, you're getting older too. Like, you can't see no more. Like, God damn.
Yeah.
Let's go. We're gonna be like, I know. Now they're gonna have all their minds. They're gonna be inside the game with their, a reality where their minds are inside the game. We're gonna be like, why are you kids doing that?
Yeah,
like in my day, we had controllers.
Yeah, I know. I remember I told my mom, like, you're always like 40 in my head. And she's like, me too. I still think that I'm 40. But my body's not.
That's my mom. I keep telling my mom, Mom, you're not 40 and 50 no more. You're going to break your legs and arms. Can't do that no more. She's like being jumpy and active.
I'm taking that 6 months and hoping I get out on 3 on good behavior. Because
facts. Yeah.
If I can help mom out.
This is not that long, to be honest.
If it was my brother,
long.
I'd risk my brother.
Use summons. Get the mimic tier. We can coach you where it said, but we can't do it.
Is there locking me away? Mom, get the mimic tier, you guys.
Mom, you gotta get the tier.
Use all the tools available to you.
Mom, get a big shield. Put everything into hell.
You better use all the cheesy weapons.
You know the part where you know you're cooked, like you think your mom's gonna do it, and like the first month is just the whole like understanding hand-eye coordination, and you're just realizing, oh my god, like
you're still at the first boss.
My mom not even making out a tutorial, bro.
Yeah,
you making out the cave.
Just a cave is a month. Just getting out of the cave, it takes them a month.
Sometimes we forget because we play so many games how hard actually games are with like the hand and core eye. You don't realize it until you see other people do it.
It's a skill. Especially when you can type on, like, I can't say how many times I work and I'm just typing on a keyboard and not even looking at a keyboard, and like older people just stare like I'm doing witchcraft. Like I'm just like,
it's just so natural. We've been doing it for decades.
Yeah, it's even people who play games. Like there's someone I watch who's just trying out a bunch of different games now, but he just used to play like a bunch of Halo and stuff. And even watching that, like just the things that we naturally know from playing a ton of different games, it's not there for him either.
Especially RPGs. Yeah, it's a crazy like moment for them.
Yeah.
The skills don't translate in everything. That's why it's important to play things before you have an opinion on it.
I will say it goes reverse though. I do think certain video games does give you IRL advantages though. I will say that.
What do you mean?
Like RuneScape, for example, taught me about like the economy and capitalism.
Oh yeah, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing.
I feel like I was able to drive a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain. I feel like I became a better driver because I played racing games. I feel that's weird. It's kind of weird to say that, but like I feel like it gave me some, like when I was doing my driver's test, just things naturally came to me when I had to do like the tests and stuff that I feel like
I think it's the same as like if you play a piano, like you're a better driver. So like if you do driving lessons and you're good at driving right away, they'll probably be like, do you play piano or like?
Yeah, my driver actually asked me that. I was like, I played when I did piano when I was a kid, but I
never heard of that
it's
correlation.
Just hand-eye coordination.
I get it. Yeah, I
train that
heard
skill. So like you're not you can kind of pace like when you're turning and when you're trying to predict like how far back somebody is or how close or how fast they're moving. You kind of video games have kind of given you that like instance of like how fast something in motion is moving. So you kind of have naturally like trained your brain to like make better guesstimates than other people.
Yeah.
Etho just gave
reaction time. That's why reaction time is a real thing. It improves your reaction time. Gamers naturally have a better reaction time. Yeah.
Ethos just gave somebody riding the bus listening to this podcast hope right now. He's like, see, Mom,
hey man, you too can drive a car. Not in this economy, but
we can all use a little bit of hope. Exactly. Because in this economy, things have gotten out of control. Let's talk about this news. A lot of news coming out this week. I was telling them before we started recording, I think I'm going to call this episode like the price of fun, because half this episode we are talking the price of stuff, and the first thing we're going to talk about is the big story that got revealed this week, and that's the price of the Steam machine. In case you've been living under a rock, 512 gigabyte model without a controller, $1,050. Then 512 gigabytes with the controller, $1,100. Then you got the 2 terabyte controller one that's $1,300, and the $1,400 whether you want a controller or not. This sent the internet into a craze because a lot of people thought that this was going to be a more affordable product, but we now understand why it took so long for them to reveal the price. And of course, RAM shortages, memory shortages is the issue of why this is the price that it is. But I've seen a lot of people on social media, including me. I tweeted, I was like, I'm out. I wanted this as like an emulation machine potentially in the living room, but a little too rich for my blood. I can afford it, but I don't want to afford it. So I want to hear what y'all got to say. What's your take on the Steam machine's pricing, Watts?
It's kind of landed basically exactly where I expected it would, looking at the price of just components in general. I was like, I would expect that it's going to come out around $1,000. It sucks because when they wanted to bring it out, it would have been around $750-ish, which would have been, I think, for me, like $700, $750 could definitely make me think about getting it, because I think what it is a really cool little piece of tech. The form factor is really small, and from what everyone has said about it, it's really quiet and it doesn't run hot either. So like they've made a really good piece of hardware to be able to actually just have in a little part of your house anywhere, and it's not going to be like you're running a crazy hot PC in there or anything. I think it is unfortunate that from looking at performance wise with the Steam machine, it's like on par or a bit below the PS5. So when you look at the price of a PS5, because a PS5 Pro is $900, the Steam machine is over that, and the Steam machine isn't outperforming a base PS5 in some situations. So that makes the price go.
Makes sense why they kept putting emphasis on the AI upscaling coming too.
Yeah, and I think the Steam machine, if you are wanting to, because I've seen it, it's a lot of people who they want to play PC games, but they don't want to deal with what comes with being a PC gamer. I think that makes sense, but for the price, you can just make your own that would be somewhat similar, and it would be better. And I know people don't want to build their own thing and they don't want to deal with it, but it's just for the price, I don't know. I think you would have to really, really love Steam games. Like you gotta really love them. You want to be a part of No Rest for the Wicked for this year that it's been in early access. You want to play all those demos. You want to play all the indie games. Like you love that. I think if you're into emulation, that makes a lot of sense. I think if you're wanting to have something that maybe you can travel with, that you can game on and use as a PC, because you can put Windows on it if you want. I think maybe that could make sense. But I think it would have been an attractive price for console players that want to just get into PC gaming if it was lower at that initial price they wanted to do it. But I think at this point, like PS5 Pro is less money and it's going to perform significantly better. Now it can get better, because like games can start to specifically curate their games for the Steam machine, so it can always get better. But just where we're at, it's kind of crazy. But if you want to make your own, the RAM that they have in the Steam machine is like half the price of the Steam machine. So
I think everything you just said is the reason why I believe that. I do think the first wave of this is going to sell out. I question after maybe wave 2 if it will. The reason why I think it will sell out is because what you just said. This is only going to appeal to people who just really love the Steam ecosystem, and that's great for the hardcore. But I think where they're going to fumble with this price is I also think that there was a demographic that wanted to get into PC gaming but didn't want to build a PC. Also, they just wanted the small form factor for the living room of the console. I think those people are going to back away. So my prediction is the first wave or two is going to sell really well, because those people who really want it because they love Steam, they're going to buy it. But the people who don't have experience with Steam, I think Valve might potentially lose them at this price point, because it is a lot. What you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you too. And I mean, I said on the podcast when we were speculating what the price is, I said if it's $1,000, it's probably going to be DOA for a lot of people, and it ended up hitting that mark. I think the funniest thing about all this, when they announced all the prices, I was like, damn, you couldn't even like give the controller out as a base version for $1,000, because the one with the controller, the 512 gig, is $1,128. So you're getting a slight discount of like 20 something dollars, because the controller is $99. So it's already $100. So I think that really turned people off a lot more too, outside of the base version being $1,049. So yeah, I mean, we all knew that this was coming as soon as we saw that the Steam Deck, the OLED version, the highest tier, went up in price. We were like, yeah, there's no way that the Steam machine is going to be less or even the same price as a Steam Deck now. So I did ask Twitter. I was like, well, y'all gonna get this? It finally got revealed. A lot of people did say no. A couple of people did say yes. They have the money for it, which is fine. Like, you have the money for it. I'm not going to argue with you on how you want to spend it. But again, just like on the other podcast, we're having this conversation, I just want people to understand, outside of what Watch just mentioned, because you can dual boot, but again, that would kind of defeat the purpose if you're not really as tech savvy going through that. So if you literally just wanted a plug and play Steam machine that can play PC games, then you're not going to do that anyways. But I do want y'all to understand that, like, you're not going to be able to play every single game, because again, this is a Linux shell, and there are certain games, because of the anti-cheat, you cannot play multiplayer. So I do want, yes, a lot of multiplayer games have anti-cheats that Linux is not compatible with. So I don't want you all to be disappointed for whoever does want to go out and get this. Some other people also brought up, they were like, well, the Steam Deck didn't really like sell crazy numbers, but it did sell out though initially. When the first one did come out, I don't know about the OLED when that one ended up coming out, but the Steam Deck did end up selling out. Now again, that could be because of just how many that they manufactured the first run, because we don't know those exact numbers, or I don't know those exact numbers, but they could do the same thing with the Steam machine. I do see this selling out, like you all said, but I just don't know who outside of like the hardcore Valve fans, because they'll buy anything. I mean, they sold the Steam controller out when it came out, like literally within minutes. So they don't care. There's another one of those crowds that just does not care. They're going to buy it regardless. But I just don't know anybody outside of like that hardcore demographic if they're going to bite on this just based on the price. So we'll see. But a lot of people are saying that this is DOA. I don't think that it's going to be fully DOA, but I do think they definitely price a lot of average consumers out with this one. So it's unfortunate, but this is the state of the world that we're in right now. I don't think that Valve at the end of the day is going to be hurting because they price it at this, but I think that they definitely would have generated more sales if they were able to keep it under that $1,000 price point.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, if I toss it to you, Ethos, I would just like to say I do think that they were capable of doing that. They just don't want to, because the reality is they get 30% of every sale on their goddamn store. They could have afforded to take a hit, but it's a corporation. We know they won't. Ethos, how do you feel about this Steam machine thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a miss. I don't know what else to tell you. There's one person we do blame. It's Sam Altman. He's at fault for a lot of these problems we're dealing with.
CEO of ChatGPT.
Yep. So he's responsible, along with a lot of the other people pushing the AI into the current situation that we're in, where a lot of these prices are going to go up. I do agree. I think it's also a point of, well, if everything's going up, we have to do this. I don't think necessarily that Valve is like intentionally price gouging. I think this is just the reality we're living into. I think we just saw multiple articles today just talk about things getting worse. We just saw 2 different RAM, I think it was, companies all stating the exact same thing, saying
I can bring it up if you
worse.
want.
Yeah, I think it was Micron, and there was another one I saw on my timeline.
I think it's going to go up like 50%. Actually, I might have forgot to sell it. Hey, go ahead, keep yapping. I know I saved this.
Yeah, I think it was like it'll go up 50% by the end of this year. Later on this year, there's going to be another price hike, and then they said there's going to be
already
another,
like $500.
Yeah, Jeffries warns memory prices will surge 50% in Q3 2026 and another 40% in Q4. So it's going to get worse. No relief until 2028.
Dude, it's going to be $1,000 for RAM.
Take care of your computers, chat.
2 years. 2 years. You got to hold on for 2 years before we get any form of relief, or like this thing dying off. And it's going to get worse because if people start supercharging AI even further, and they don't try to walk this back, or we don't get any sort of efficiency, which I don't think is going to be plausible within the amount of time. We also have those clocks, which makes things worse. We have those profit clocks that, me and TBH like to make fun of all the time about. A lot of these companies are not profitable, and they're basically we're in a bubble where people are investing into something that is not currently profitable, and they're all of the idea that it could be, and if it doesn't become profitable by 2028, I think that's like the worst case scenario will happen. We're talking massive pops of in multiple industries, stock market, multiple losses across the board, technology just crashing and burning, multiple layoffs, the technology sector just getting completely just grim reapered, multiple people losing their jobs. I'd argue and say we're going to enter into, if you feel like we're in a recession right now, I think we are going to enter into a sort of quasi Great Depression that hasn't been felt since.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw a TikTok of a man saying that Marco Rubio's text messages leaked, and in the text messages,
it's in there.
Apparently, he walked in on Trump holding Elon, and he was crying. He was holding him in his arms, and he said it was because his Tesla stock wasn't recovering. It was so bad. I don't know if that story is true or not, but I'm like, it must be pretty bad for another grown ass man to be holding him, saying my fucking stocks.
I don't know. Elon's kind of weird. He's a weirdo. In Trump's arms about everything.
I've never heard Trump say bedlam. For him to say that, and that's a very weird word. So that's like he's paying attention. Like he said, quote unquote, this is about the oil, but this all ties. It's all connected. But when he's talking about if we don't get a deal done, we're talking 3 weeks. It would have been chaos basically around the world. Like the economic
We're running through our oil
economic-
reserves.
Our oil reserves are almost depleted. And if we
Mm.
can't, and he said, even if we're recovering it, it's like worst case scenario. It's like if we didn't get a chance to recover, the economic standpoint of like the world goes into chaos. Everyone goes to chaos. A lot of people die, especially in the poor countries. They straight up people die as a result of this. And then America is obviously going to take a hit from it as well. Granted, we're first world problems, but it's still going to be really bad regardless. So yeah, it's bad. Steam Machine, it's just a telling side that I've said before. I've been saying this for the past 2 years. If you didn't get a PC, you should have got one 2 years ago. You should be right when the tariff stuff was going on. That would have been that was a bad time, but that would have been a better time than we are now. Steam Machine, I just can't in any good measure recommend to anybody to buy any sort of technology right now. It's just not worth it. And unfortunately, I think we're also seeing most people saying like it might never go back to normal. So we're talking about completely losing the capability to even engage with our technology in its current form. And I don't hear anybody even remotely even talking about how do we mitigate this or how do we make things easier for our consumer base. I've never heard one person talk about that. No one cares. No one's even
in this article. It says we won't see any release till 2028, and I don't know if I agree with that because, in my humble opinion, there's something you can do this November. I'm not going to say what it is, but we can.
Get out there and vote. I'm gonna say, get out there and vote.
You got to vote, but I think even voting, even if we're best case scenario, let's
it's
say
still going to take some time.
Yeah, it's not going to.
The damage is already done. I think most people have said the damage is done. The tariffs on top of the stupid decisions that were made in the government with the tariffs. And with right now with the war and just the overall chaos that's currently happening around the world, it has made everyone's life worse. And that is not something that we're going to just recover to, even if they do make Trump into a lame duck. I don't think it's still going to fix the problem.
It's unfortunate. And the crazy part about all this Steam Machine stuff, I saw this article. I feel like it kind of whizzed past a lot of people's timelines, but an engineer over at Valve also claims that the Steam Machine will not be on the same timeline as the Steam Deck. He essentially said in this interview that they're taking their time with new Steam Decks, but the Steam Machine, they're more open to releasing more frequently with updates. So, I mean, the Steam Deck's been out like 4 years, and there still hasn't been a Steam Deck 2. So, like, from the way he's describing it, we could potentially see a new Steam Machine every 2 to 3 years, 5 like max or whatever. Is this problematic? Are we okay with this? Like, how would this change the market?
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to hear that right now. that we're possibly going to get another Steam Machine like within 2 or 3 years or quicker than the Steam Deck. I think we need to let this one come out first. I mean, it would make sense because it would be way easier to just put in new parts compared to the Steam Deck because you have to compress all the parts and make way smaller parts in order to actually go into the components of the Steam Deck. So I get that part, but again, I feel like it's just bad time. It just when the Steam Machine isn't even officially out yet, and all you have done is just announce the price, which pissed a lot of people off. So I mean, it makes sense. Just way terrible timing right now.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. What?
No, I was just at least they put the price in their article, unlike another company.
Yeah, I think them frequently putting out Steam Machines could cause a problem because like they said that they're gonna have Steam Machine verified games, and my thing is if you're putting out a new one like every 2 to 3 years, does that change the label? Do they now have to make a new label where this is Steam Machine 1 verified but it's not, or this is Steam Machine 2 verified but not Steam Machine 1? Because think about the people who don't know anything about PC gaming. I can see that being confusing to them if it's an all-encompassing label, but then they have a Steam Machine 1 and it only runs on the 2, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does. It complicates their ecosystem quite a bit if they end up just having a ton of different Steam machines, and every game is interacting with each one differently. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would really make sense for them to bring out another one, especially with the RAM price going up just this year. You're going to end up having to pay at least like $2,000 for a Steam machine. I think everyone should stop making stuff for a bit because like I don't want to hear a PS6. I don't want to see an Xbox Helix because we can't afford any of these things. We can't do it. And unless you're going to be looking into making some kind of like a way to make it cheaper. I remember hearing that AMD was working on like something. They were working on something that was going to make their games able to run with like less RAM or something like that. But I need solutions for these things instead of just being like, oh, we're just going to keep releasing hardware and it's all going to be really expensive. I don't think that's the answer.
As much as it pains me to agree with you, because like you saying that, like, I don't want to hear about PlayStation 6, I don't want to hear about Project Helix. It's gonna verify like the PS4 broke motherfuckers. See, no new consoles. I do agree with that. I just want to make it clear. I only agree with it because of what's happened in the last year. Like the world has just gone to shit, and there's no way. Well, we could have predicted it, but you know, half the country's fucking.
We
stupid.
did predict it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
half the country thought that a man who had 6 failing businesses was gonna somehow run a country well. Anyways, yeah, that's the only reason why. So I'm with you. Like, I don't want to see a PlayStation 6. I don't want to see a Project Helix. The world is just not in a good place right now. So let's just keep rocking with this generation. And unfortunately, things are only going to get worse. Let's talk more price. The other big story, probably bigger than the Steam Machine. I thought the Steam Machine story was going to be the big one of this week. The probably biggest story is the reveal of the Grand Theft Auto price tag. And if you have not been keeping up, it will retail at base version for $80, with the Ultimate Edition being $100. But here's the catch. Some people are saying the $100 edition is actually the full game because the Ultimate Edition has pretty basic content locked behind it. So if you buy the Ultimate Edition, you get stuff like some cars, some tattoos, just like different ways to like, you know, pimp out your car. Basically, it's pretty basic unlockable stuff that you would get in the game. So they're saying online that it's like variants. So that's what you get with the $100 edition. And also it's launching with no disc. So if you buy the disc version, you can buy the box. There will be a digital code in there, like some type of coupon or something like that. But there is no disc. $100. This had a lot of people talking. Ethos, how are we feeling about this?
It's like, where do I begin?
Hey, let me rephrase this. I forgot to do this. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it right now. If you're a Grand Theft Auto fanboy, you might want to close your ears because I feel like I know where this conversation is gonna go. And if you're just somebody who's a blind consumer, you might not like this conversation. You've been warned. Anyways, go ahead.
A decade ago, little old Ethos had this thing called Death of an Industry. And in it, one of the things I constantly brought up when I was wee little ignorant self was that I kept saying, I was like, the moment you give people inches and they go miles. And we have seen, unfortunately, this become a prophecy that has become self-fulfilling throughout this decade since. I have never seen, I don't even say I'd never seen, but I think in the words of Jakey, I agree with him. I think gamers are a bunch of man children. Yeah. He had a video. He has like a secondary channel where he doesn't promote it at all. He just casually does it. And people who find it, they're just like, oh, he just does commentary stuff. He said GTA and just gamers in general are a bunch of man baby crybabies, and they're a bunch of children. And I'm starting to believe it. The way that people have reacted to this type of news, the way that they've bent backwards to defend this type of stuff, where if this had been on any other type of scenario, any other type of company, the reaction would be completely different. Everybody would have been clowning it, but everyone's giving this a second pass. It's okay. I'm sorry, but why are we dick riding corporations? I don't know what's going on. In the words of Johnny Silverhand, can you please lock the fuck in? This is not what Johnny Silverhand died for. I do not know why we have gotten to this point where people are defending these corporations, defending these practices, when I could have swore a decade ago I thought we were all in agreement that all this sort of stuff was bad, that we shouldn't be supporting this sort of stuff, that we should be criticizing it. We had a company come out here straight up tell you that it's not going to be on the disc day one. You're not going to get access to it. Then they came back and said, oh, wait, no, maybe we lied. We will maybe later on in a couple months also have a physical disc. So there will be a physical disc. And then we found out that's not really true. So now we're right back where we started. It's a mess. It is a clusterfuck of just very anti-consumer news that I just don't see how anybody can look at it and be okay with it unless, like what you said, you are just a full-blown fanboy of Rockstar and GTA, and because of that, you cannot objectively look at it. And I get it. Trust me, I think everybody falls victim to this. I think everybody has their favorites. Everybody, kind of what Watts says too, everybody has their favorite franchise, has their favorite thing, and they just hope for the best. They always try to go into it like they're willing to give so many benefits of the doubt, but obviously people who are not fans of that kind of don't see it that way, and they're going to be more objective towards, hey, what about this or that? I don't understand why we've come to this point where people are just okay with saying that it's okay that a game is now getting more expensive and that I don't really care, or that if the game was $30, it wouldn't be hyped up. Like we're equating the value, the price tag as a dog. Yes. There was XQC literally was out here on Twitter, and I think there's a lot of streamers. Dante also, he got flamed on online for this type of reaction. A lot of the streamers, and granted, I can't believe he posted this, but I can't shout out to Soul Illuminaughty. Of all the people on earth, to see this person actually go out there on live stream and be like, and actually have an actual well thought out process of like, I'm thinking about this and I'm like, yo, this could be the really good, but also really bad. Like an actual nuanced take where a bunch of other people in the streaming community are just like, oh, you're broke. Like that's just the argument. You're broke. I already showed you a $200 card. I can sell that card right now and buy GTA, 2 GTA copies. I ain't broke. It ain't got nothing to do with broke. It's the principle. The problem is y'all have no principles. You got no morals. Y'all got no principles, and y'all stand on nothing. And that's why we've been getting, that's why we've been getting shafted for the past decade, is because y'all have not stood on nothing. Y'all want to stand on when Xbox does something wrong, but now that your favorite thing's online, hey, this is which I think everyone's going to agree here. This is a trendsetter. GTA is a trendsetter. It always has been, always will be. And if you tell people and you're alerting the companies, hey man, I don't care how expensive it is. I don't care $30. I'm gonna buy it.
Can I add to that argument and I'm gonna let you rock? What you just said is great. Grand Theft Auto is a trendsetter. Can I give everybody an example? I'd argue Grand Theft Auto is probably top 5, one of the most influential video games ever created in terms of game design. When Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, that shit was like crack. It's the reason why a lot of your favorite games are like that. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Cyberpunk. Yep. When that open world format came out from Grand Theft Auto 3, everybody and their mama followed it. Now that we know that, now that we understand that from a gameplay design standpoint, you don't think that's possible from a financial standpoint with the money because of how popular this is? Go ahead. I just wanted to give an example.
I mean, we've seen this before. We're going to talk about it later. Destiny's current, holy shit. Destiny's news is even more insane. So when we're talking about what Destiny's gone through, and like think about what Destiny caused an entire console generation to hunt after that formula and fail and fail at trying to capture that same formula. There is nobody that can sit here and tell us that games don't set precedences or set trends that others try to hunt. They're going to. And the thing is that you can say, and I hate this argument, you try to say, well, GTA is of a higher quality. GTA, look, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't think, this is just my opinion, I don't think GTA is as from a gameplay standpoint, and even as a story standpoint, is not of the highest quality that I've seen in video games. It's just not. I think the GTA, the reason why y'all say that is because GTA kills it when it comes to presentation. Same thing like a lot of Sony exclusives. I've said this before. I'll stand on it till I die. I think a lot of the reasons you guys inflate game design and just overall like the scaling of the game with its presentation. And you think because if the game has the biggest, baddest graphics and the biggest world and the biggest like graphical and lighting and stuff like that, then that equates it to, well, this means the game is more valuable than another. And I think that now we are paying the price. We've been paying the price, and I think we're going to pay the price further because what youth might think GTA is worth the quality, I guarantee you a lot of those other games you don't like or those other games that also go to $80 ain't going to be worth that amount of money. Those ain't $800 when EA sees what y'all doing.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I've seen people say. The counter argument that is, I'm not going to buy every game at 80. That's not the point. Like I was saying on stream, I was like, some of you guys maybe are not old enough to remember. I was like, I remember when games was $50. Then out of nowhere it was 60. Then out of nowhere it was 70.
Games actually had budgets. I remember there was actually a budget game where like literally there were games like now you only see it in the indie. That is the only area where you see that still exists is where indie developers and kind of AA, but indie developers say, hey, my game is not this long, so we're only going to charge you $20 or $15. Like they would scale it with like how big they think their game is or how long do you think the player would play it. But AAA has never cared about that. AAA has sold us 8-hour games as $70 or $12, and that doesn't equate to their quality because, like for example, We had this conversation about 007 when 007 got announced that, hey, 007 is like 15 to 17 hours. These same people were on the internet being like, man, that shit ain't worth the money. I ain't paying no $70 for that shit because they equated it to the hours of how long it is. But now we have the reverse of that. We have GTA basically saying is like, they're going to rise the prices of this. And the thing that people are trying to equate is you comparing this to saying that, hey, which is what we've been dealing with. People have been launching $80 games. Yes, they have been, but a lot of those games are either they were physical edition ones with Nintendo, which is why it's not an equivalence. They actually gave you the disc. They don't give you the disc right now. So that argument goes out of the window. And then two, a lot of these games that were $80 were deluxe editions. They weren't the standard edition. They were still like $70 games, but the deluxe editions were 80. This
also,
is a deep
those deluxe
game.
editions too, they were actual deluxe editions because a lot of those games came with like the season pass where you would get the DLC that would come down the road. This $100 edition, we're talking about fucking
there's no expansion, by the way. There's no
expansion. We're talking about tattoos, rims on a car, and I seen some people say, well, it's just some accessories, like you don't really need it. That's the fucking problem. It should just be on the disc. Why are you okay with you charging for that?
Well, because then they would say, well, there's so many games that you get the Ultimate Edition and you get different like cosmetics and stuff. I think what makes it different with GTA for me is that these are physical locations in the game that have these things.
Not
so
a
like
microtransaction store.
Right. So if someone was to purchase an Ultimate Edition and then they just get in the mail like all of their stuff. I think that is different to me not having the Ultimate Edition and walking around and seeing stores that I cannot interact with properly. I imagine the way that they're going to do it is you're going to go into the store and you're going to be able to even try it on, but then it's going to say like need Ultimate Edition or something redded out. And that for a game that is so immersive, I just walking into a store and then putting on clothes and then going like, oh, I don't have the Ultimate Edition, so I can't buy it. Never mind, I guess. I feel like that feels bad. So because I know plenty of games do cosmetics or whatever. It's not a big deal. But yeah, these are physical locations you're going to see as you're driving around the world that you cannot interact with fully because you haven't given the money. Another thing is you do get access to like separate missions, right? I know GTA has done that before. People didn't care then. People do care more now, though. People do care more about that stuff, that there's content that is in the game, but you cannot access it unless you pay a little bit more money. So I do think, yes, you can say like, oh, well, people didn't care when GTA did it before. And it's like, well, people didn't care about a lot of things like 20 years ago. Okay. They didn't care about a lot of things. Yeah, so where I kind of sit with it is, one, I don't love that it's 80 as a base. I understand that it is a very large game that's taken a lot of development, blah, 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 blah. But this is a company where GTA 5 has sold like 230 million copies, plus all the money that they've made from GTA Online, which is millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. If there's any company that can afford to just charge like $60 for a game, it's this company. So the fact that they are like, they're not being for the gamer, for the consumer, right? Like we know we're going to sell like 300 million copies of this game. $60, not even 70, $60 game. It's all good. We're going to make billions of dollars. But they go above and beyond and charge you 80. And I was even say 80 isn't the complete edition. That's like, they're kind of doing it the opposite way around, where the Ultimate Edition is the edition, and then the $80 version is like the broke edition. It's not even like
I can argue you can't fully beat the game without that $100 edition now.
Right, because you don't have access to the missions. You're missing content. The content that is just paywalled there. So it rubs me the wrong way in a lot of ways. I've learned way too much about GTA recently. I learned about the GTA Plus subscription. I didn't know it was a thing. I learned about it.
That's terrible too.
There is a version of the game that you can buy. So it is a version. So you can read it and say, I'm not going to get the one with GTA Plus subscription, but you do have to make sure that if you do get the edition that has it, that you cancel it before it renews.
Yeah, that's auto renew.
The thing that annoyed me is GTA Plus subscription adds things like the availability of you to collect money from a menu instead of having to physically drive to the store. Like just quality of life, basic things is locked behind a subscription. And I was like, I can actually not believe that is a thing. I can't believe it.
If Ubisoft would have did it.
If so many companies, if they would have done it, people would have been very upset about it. So yeah, I think it just all kind of rubs me the wrong way and doesn't feel great. I also I said on Twitter, I don't know if it popped up, I muted it as soon as it looked like more people were seeing it than they should. But I said, like, you know, we're seeing screenshot after screenshot of all of what the microtransactions and Ultimate Edition can get you, but I still don't know if I can play this game at 60 FPS on my base PS5, and I don't know what the game looks like at all. But I do know that I can put a cute dress on the main character if I pay $20 extra.
No gameplay, by the way. I think that's the craziest thing. If this was any other game where they were asking for this much money, that's all we've learned about so far is how we can spend money in this game. People would be upset with it. But I think the thing that, like, I noticed is I said it before the podcast, but like at the top of the week, we learned the Steam Machine price, and the conversation was centered around how gaming has become inaccessible. It's becoming a rich man's hobby, and people can no longer game. And then, like 2 days later, the price of the GTA 6 game was released, and people were like, "Oh, I can't wait to pay this shit." And I'm like, wait, I thought you guys didn't like that gaming was becoming inaccessible. So is that the issue, or you're okay with inaccessibility as long as it's for something that you like? It's like the cognitive dissonance on that. I'm like, I get it. One's a console and one's a game, but like this is going to affect everything. And I think people are only thinking it from the standpoint of like the games that they don't care about. They're like, oh,
right,
I don't care if GTA 6 raises the price of every game because I'm not willing to pay $100 for every different game. But what about the games you do want to? What if next year there are 5 games that you are super interested in and they're all $100? I think that presumption is under the idea that like there's a bunch of games you won't be interested in. If you're a gamer, there's going to be more stuff you're interested in once Grand Theft Auto passes. It'll have its moment and then gaming will go on because that's how life works. The world keeps spinning. But like just the excuses people are making up, I think is crazy.
And I would actually say that games going up in price is worse than consoles going up in price, because a game I'm looking at, I mean, I play like probably 60 games a year, but like your average person, you're buying multiple things at $80 at least a year. So it's everything from now. Let's say every single game that comes out now is at least $80. That is every single time you are trying to interact with the medium, it's $80 plus taxes. You're close to $90, maybe even above it, which is an insane amount of money. And that makes it incredibly difficult for most people to interact with the medium if everything is going to be $80.
It's going to get to a point where like you're going to have to decide, oh, do I want to eat this week? Like, and it shouldn't be that. Like,
and if the prices go up, you know, we're looking at all these games that we're thinking of playing in September, right? People are already having to make the decision of, am I going to play Onimusha or Control? Like, I'm interested in both. What do I do? You're going to have more games fail. You're going to have more game studios have to close down. You're going to have more people getting laid off. You're going to have less talent being in these places to create the things that we love. So it's not just about, can I afford to pay $100 or $80 for GTA? It's about how this is going to affect the industry, period. Because it could crash everything if everyone decided to do that. Now, I do think that there could be pushback, right? We saw like Outer Wilds 2 was coming out initially at $80 and people were like, no, you go away, get out of here, you silly goose. And they're like, okay, I'm just kidding, not 80.
Man.
Yeah, I will say the response to this, it gives me some hope. I was genuinely surprised, at least on my timeline, the response was 50-50. And that 50-50 was very strong. It was people that was like, I don't give a fuck, I'm buying this. And the other half was like, fuck Rockstar. And I was like, okay, there is hope for this, that some people might vote with their wallets this time. Before I toss it to you, Jay, the one thing I will say is I can't stress enough, we have not seen any gameplay. I just don't understand why people are so itching to spend money for something they haven't seen. What do you think about this?
But TBH, the GTA never shows gameplay until a few months before it comes out.
Yeah,
the corporation been fucking me. I like it. Jay, you've been quiet.
Doing this.
What you think?
It's again, I'm still arguing with the people who just do not care. I think the thing that saddens me the most about people's reaction to this, and I mean, they've already showed their cards. They showed their cards before anything was even announced. You know, we were trying to figure out what the date was when this damn game was going to come out, and the whole $100. Like, I'll pay whatever price for this for GTA 6 because I've been waiting for it for more than 10 years now at this point. But I just really don't like when the majority of people who are like, I don't care, like, I'm just going to buy it regardless. They're speaking from a totally selfish standpoint. Again, it's very anti-consumer, and they don't realize it. They're just super like, hey, I've been waiting for this game for a very long time. I don't care if they give me some crap, along with my copy of GTA 6. I'm going to buy it because Rockstar has had this nearly flawless record. We don't care. They've always been able to push the genre forward. Everything has been pushing the hardware to its limits. I want y'all to first understand like the Grand Theft Auto timeline. I was actually, when I was talking about this initially, I showed some people Grand Theft Auto, the original Grand Theft Auto, and Grand Theft Auto 2. In other words, some people that was like, I've never seen this game. I've never played this game. So from that to Grand Theft Auto 3 was obviously a very huge jump, right? Now, that was groundbreaking. I remember when that came out. PS2 era of Grand Theft Auto was, that you couldn't tell anybody nothing about that. So for the people that were around during that era, I do totally understand, why you're like, hey, like GTA, one of my favorite franchises. It was mine as well. I was too young to be playing the game, but I played it, right? So I understand how that game made a lot of people feel. And then the subsequent Vice City and San Andreas. And then they did all the stories. We did Liberty City stories, Vice City stories, and then Grand Theft Auto 4 came out. All these games came out within 1 to 2 year spans. I want y'all to understand that. Like, these games came out in 1 to 2 year spans. From Grand Theft Auto 3 to Vice City was a year. I feel like we don't even like realize it. Like, the game came out a year later. So do you think that just a year could push the genre forward to a point where like, man, that's even more innovative than 3? No, it didn't, but it was in a different setting. It had a different story, it had a different antagonist. So we were like, oh, okay, we're just gonna rock with it. It's cool. Like, you fed us super quickly within a year. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out 2 years later.
Dang.
Now, did that push it forward? I would say yes and no. As far as the hardware, I don't think that they pushed it that far forward. But San Andreas, again, is one of those games that, because of the amazing storytelling, the amazing characters, iconic characters, the people freaking meme CJ to this day, like he's never going away, right? So with those people alone, and then it was set in actually 3 different cities: Vegas, LA, and San Francisco. That game, expanded because of like what you can see from the open world. I think that did push it forward, but I don't think it pushed it forward to a point where it's like, oh, we're at the edge of what we can do at the on the PS2. Now with Grand Theft Auto 4, yeah, that was another huge jump. So we're making these incremental jumps, but you got to understand, like, all right, from San Andreas to Grand Theft Auto was 4 years, but they still came out with 2 separate games, in between that. So again, we're talking a year and we're talking 2 years before we get to Grand Theft Auto 4. So yeah, I would agree that that pushed it forward as far as like everything that was in Grand Theft Auto 4. And then I mean, you had 5 years in between, but again, they came out with 2 other games. You came out with expansions of Grand Theft Auto 4. You came out with 2 different expansions of Grand Theft Auto 4, and then we have Grand Theft Auto 5, which was a PS3 game. Again, it was a PS3 game. Mm-hmm. So outside of that, and then you get into the Red Dead situation, which Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018, and that was a PS4 and Xbox One title. Yes, you can play it on the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X now, but it is not a game that was ported over to the PS5, to current gen. So Rockstar hasn't even technically made any games for current gen. They have not made any games for current gen. This is going to be the first one. And at this point, with how long that it's taken to even get to this point, are we expecting, just from what we've seen, just screenshots and a little bit, from the trailers, are we expecting something that is just going to significantly blow our minds compared to something that we've seen before? nobody can say yes right now, but everybody is confidently saying yes. And that's where my confusion comes in, because I want people to just wait. I just simply want people to wait until we can see some definitive gameplay before we can say something. But everybody's just going off of nostalgia and what they've seen in the past. And they are expecting this game to be the greatest game that they have ever played. So I just want people to really temper their expectations. And I think, like, from me being a huge Grand Theft Auto fan and coming up until now, I'm nowhere near as excited for Grand Theft Auto 6 as I probably was back when Grand Theft Auto 5 was out. And I think it is majority because of how long that we waited, and coupled with how people are reacting to Rockstar, and they're just like, I don't care what they give me or what they show me. I'm going to get this game regardless. I'm willing to pay any amount of money to play this game, even though they have shown you with this, because you all said it, the $100 edition is essentially the standard edition. I think that Rockstar did get scared. I think they got a little afraid. So they're like, hey, we're not going to do the $100 for the standard edition, but we're going to give you this $80 edition and give you the $100 edition with all the extra cosmetics, which I don't care about, to be honest. I know that some people may. I don't care about it. The thing that made me upset about it was the fact that they lock certain side missions behind the Ultimate Edition, and the fact that the physical edition is not going to have a disc. I think that if anybody that should get a physical edition should get a disc, bare minimum. So people were bringing up multiple points. They were like, we don't know how big this game is going to be. Fair point. People mentioned that Cyberpunk was 3 discs, I think. Oh, Baldur's Gate was multiple discs, and which I didn't know, because again, I'm pretty much getting everything digital. But some more recent games have been multiple discs. Again, if that's the situation, again, give me multiple discs. Like people just want something that's tangible. And that goes to your point, Watts, that you were saying. You're only giving me the case with a digital code in it.
What's the point?
I feel like that is a slap in the face. Just don't have physical editions at all. I do understand that places like GameStop, because people, keep hyper focusing on GameStop. Yes, I understand this is to, one, combat people from being able to sell earlier copies, because we've seen that multiple times. Things get leaked. Whenever the retailers get it, they'll give it to their homeboy or something, or they'll steal it themselves and then play it. And then, the whole story is leaked. And then, Rockstar is fucked, because you have somebody leaking all the stuff online. So I get that point. But the second point is obviously to stop people from reselling and then Rockstar not seeing any of their profit. But I've also seen multiple things that outside of GameStop, regular retailers are going to suffer from the physical edition announcement, because now, like, you have somebody come in and they're like, hey, I want the physical edition of Grand Theft Auto 6. You're just going to give them a case that's just going to have a digital code in it. So that's going to hurt them as well. For all the people that still care about the physical edition, they're going to hurt them as well. And I've already seen multiple retailers speak out about that that might also cause a ripple in the system, as far as that one video game. It's great. One video game is causing this much damage. So that was just so confusing to me. So those were like the main two things that I was just like, really? I just didn't understand those two things, like the whole physical edition and locking side missions behind the Ultimate Edition. And I just want people to really start speaking from and thinking from the mind of an average consumer and the economy versus your own selfish standpoints. Because again, Ethos mentioned, like, I'm Dante. I saw that clip, and while I can say that he shouldn't have crashed out on boy, I don't know what his issue was. He did a super crash out, and I don't know how it got to that point. I do understand his point where he's like, hey, people being fake, and he was like, hey, just don't buy the game, because that seems to be everyone's retort. Hey, if you don't like it, just don't buy the game. But going back to your point, Watts, okay, what if, because Rockstar did it now, Nintendo tried to do it, and people did have pushback on Mario Kart World. I don't think that you all remember, but people did have pushback on that. They were like, hey, especially when they play a game, it's like, it's not worth $80. And again, it's all perceived at this point. But The Outer Worlds 2 is a prime example of speaking out about these can change things. Like we've seen it happen. So they were like, hey, my bad, yo. Like, all right, we're gonna make the game like $10 cheaper. Like that's, I feel like more people should just speak out about it instead of just accepting everything that someone gives you. Because again, it does give like you're a corporate cocksucker. Like I just I don't know what's to frame it, but y'all are doing way too much for these corporations that don't care about anything but your money. They see you as a dollar bill. They don't see you as an individual person who has responsibilities, who has things to take care of, because there will be people who will put this game on Klarna. They're going to put this game on a payment plan. They're going to skip out on eating. They're going to skip out on rent. They're going to skip out on essential bills just to buy this game. And on top of that, which we're going to talk about, there are still people who don't own the current gen consoles, and they're saying that there's going to be a problem with that. It's so many things that I have seen revolving around one freaking video game. It just makes me sick to see this and to see people not caring about your fellow man and what they can do because they don't want to buy an $80 or $100 edition and they're broke. You're calling them broke because of it. Make sense.
You said corporate cocksucker. I'd go as far as to say, like, we've gone past just taking it to, like, people are doing tricks on the corporation now. I think, like, it's gotten out of control. And, like, I just want to present this question. What if the game is just not good? Like, would it be worth it to pay that $100 price tag? Now, granted, I don't think the quality of the game will be bad, but I think the more likely thing that could happen to GTA is, what if it's a situation where there's frame rate issues or people are falling through the map, bugs, glitches, because it is an open world game that's been in development for a very long time with a lot of people's hands on it. We don't know what's going on because we haven't seen anything. And don't sit here and tell me that it's not possible to mess up, because I mean, we waited like 15 years for Kingdom Hearts 3. Financially, it was fine, but most fans was not fucking with that game. It happened with Cyberpunk. People thought that what's the name could do no wrong, CD Projekt Red, and they fucked it up. They did fix it eventually, but it was bad at the beginning. We've seen it. I think that GTA, people try to argue that like, oh, they don't make bad games, and I'm like, well, GTA 6 is in a prime position to where this could be the one that does fuck over Rockstar, because I can't stress enough, the only thing we've seen about this game is how much we can spend on it. And usually that's one of the telltale signs that a company has lost their mind, where they're only talking about money and greed. An example being, we did it on a podcast a few weeks ago. I predicted it, not a few weeks ago, a few episodes ago. I predicted it that UFC 6 was going to be ass. When they announced that game, EA, all they did in the press release, they didn't say nothing about what new feat. We got new anime. They just said, you could buy this, that, third. I was like, red flag. Comment section like, YouTube. The game came out. I don't know if y'all seen the bugs and glitches for UFC 6. That shit is fucking horrible. People like phasing through bodies and falling through the mat and stuff like that. I just think it's in a position where like I could see it happening. Like I cannot completely rule it out. I don't want it to happen, but it's just like, man, all logic and just went out the door for this game.
I'm going to hypothetical by you really quick.
Go ahead.
Let's say worst case scenario. Let's say it comes out and it's like Cyberpunk, like not even Cyberpunk. Yeah, let's say Cyberpunk. Let's say it comes out like really messed up, where like a good portion of people who bought it like are like, yo, this game is like just buggy or crashing on me. Obviously the GTA, just like Cyberpunk, right? Like people who are on PC are like, oh no, it wasn't that bad. I didn't have to deal with that sort of, like I got lucky. I didn't have to deal with that stuff that most of other people did. Do you think that type of thing, worst case scenario, let's say that the game comes out, either A, it's a buggy mess, or B, it's just not as good as it was? Because don't forget too, GTA 5 had technical issues at launch too, especially with that GTA.
And let me give you the likeliness of where I think the technical issues will be. That base PS5, and let's not forget Xbox Series S. A lot of people are going to be on that.
I think the online's going to be broken. I think because of how much they're
when is it coming out?
We don't know.
Heard.
Nobody knows.
I think like when people, that's going to be where people have all their
people not remember when the online came out.
Yeah,
it was broken.
It was a month.
You couldn't even
play it.
Can I give you another red flag?
Yeah.
Did y'all see this statement they said? The CEO of Take-Two Interactive said GTA 6 will be a single player experience. That's a red flag to me, because I'm side-eyeing that and I'm like, does that mean that $100 edition is just for the single player, but when the online comes out, we got to pay for that too?
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. Some people are saying
they
like
may separate it, just like they did for the current gen.
Do you think that would piss people off if you had to pay another $80 to play the online?
No, because clearly they've shown they don't care. Like if you tell them, if GTA was going to say, hey, for GTA 6, we're gonna make a subscription, so you have to pay to play online. I guarantee you, a majority of those people who play like role playing and like love GTA, they're gonna give an excuse for this too. They're gonna be like, oh, I mean, it's worth it. Look at all the cool stuff.
I'm letting it be known right now. I'm cool with the $80 edition. I'm not buying that. I'm broke. I'm not buying that $100 edition. And if they charge for this online, you will not hear me talking about it on this podcast. No, thank you.
But here's my question: let's say worst case scenario happens. Do you think that causes the industry to die? Do you think that actually causes
I genuinely think GTA 6 is a canon event right now. I think this is a test. Like, I remember back in 2K13 when that shit came out, and in my review, I said, this is a slippery slope. And all the big 2K YouTubers was like, oh, you just broke. If you ain't got it, say that. I think this is a canon event where, like, if people get into that, and we're seeing that, oh, you can't afford the $100 edition, you're broke. I'm like, nah, this is going to have ramifications on the industry.
Yeah.
I think there's also a thing of like, you can be a big fan of a company, of a game, etc., and still say, I don't really like the business practices that this company is doing. Like, you can be both. And we've talked about this all the time of that people now, if you love something, you have to love it, and that's it. You can't have any like criticism of it at all. And we're seeing that a lot here, where people they go, well, but what about, instead of just going, yeah, I'm really excited for GTA. I'm gonna buy it, but like, I'm not happy about what I'm seeing the company do. You could just say that.
I'm sleeping with one eye open. It's like they take it as a personal attack when you bring up these topics, which is unfortunate.
They do. And I think that, we really need to stop attaching our entire identity to corporations and all of that stuff. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's good. And I think you can be excited for GTA and you can buy it. That's totally fine. But you shouldn't be excited for a company to screw you over.
Like, I don't know, what are they expecting? Like, if you say you don't like someone's business practices, that they're going to like find you and come beat you up or something. Like, I don't know what people are like thinking is going to be the consequence of you tweeting them or making a video or just outright saying like to your friend, like, I don't like these business practices. I totally agree with that. You can criticize somebody or something, but still be into it. I just want people to be more honest about how they truly feel. Because I do think deep down, there are a lot of people who are, trying to call other people broke for the $80 or $100 edition. I don't think they want to pay it. I think they're just trying to perform and trying to make themselves feel better by calling other people broke for either not being able to afford or not wanting to buy some of these things that are priced higher. And they want to make themselves feel better that they can, that they want to go out and buy these things. So I truly think so. I think when you're TBH, you mentioned and I was talking to Ethos about this earlier, the frame rate, like how this game is going to perform on the current gen consoles. And I saw a tweet from a lady. She said, I hope that this GTA 6 30 FPS thing is not true. And there were so many people in the comments who were like, nah, it's not going to be 60 FPS. Like, don't expect it to be 60 FPS. And I was like, I remember in the early days of this podcast, when, people called us PC elitists because, we talked about wanting to play our games at 60 frames per second or higher. And all of the console people who never got to experience that, called us elitists and were like, we don't care about frame rate. We'll still play our games at 30 FPS. Yeah, I can't see 60 frames. And then once, we started seeing a glimpse once the last gen consoles came out, the PS4 and the Xbox One. But I would still say during that era, it was highly inconsistent because Sony and Microsoft were fully focused on 4K, which was a bad move. They're like, we can play games at 4K. But I'm like, what, you want to play a game at 4K and 30 FPS or sub 30 FPS when I would rather focus on the performance here, get my game to 60 FPS. And I think that would be a better experience for me. And then current gen came out, they kind of started leaning a little bit away from the 4K. Like we heard some rumblings about 8K, but that never really materialized. But now we got closer because now we had two separate modes that you can do. You can do the fidelity mode or the performance mode. And every game I played on the PS5 was in performance mode. I don't know about y'all, but I didn't really see a true difference in like the fidelity of the graphics. I didn't care about it. I want the best performance. I'm not trying to play a game at 30 FPS. I literally did not play Bloodborne because that game was at 30 FPS. I was like, it literally made my eyes hurt because I'm so used to seeing a game be smooth while I'm playing it. So now we're at a point because we've seen console gamers kind of switch up now that they have seen a lot of games at 60 FPS. Now they kind of expect that and they were pushing back a little bit. But Grand Theft Auto 6, with the possibility of it being 30 FPS, now y'all don't care about it. Now that's okay. Again, the hypocrisy is really, really wild here. And I don't understand why you would, as a consumer in 2026, when now we have current gen, and I'm hoping, as I said since GTA 5, at least on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X in performance mode, can play those games at 60 FPS. I would hope that GTA 6, with all of the years that you had in development, you had 6 years in this console generation, I would hope that that would be 60 FPS or at least close to it. And people are like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. And I'm like, well, you haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything. We're all speculating here, but I'm saying that this should be where they try to get to, where they try to optimize to. If they don't, I'm not going to get the game. I think I'm going to just stand on my soapbox and just not get the game on console and just wait on the PC version, because I'm at that point where I don't care. And FOMO is not going to give me with this one video game. There are so many games that I care about more, especially this year, than Grand Theft Auto 6. Y'all can have it, bro. Play the game at 30 FPS. I don't care. But I just don't understand why people are just, again, they're just dick sucking and they don't care what's going on with this game. They're just willing to accept anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say ain't no way in hell that Xbox Series S is running at 60 FPS. We can shoot that.
No.
And if it is, it's because the game is running at some weird ass resolution like 800p 60 FPS. Same thing with that base PS5. I just don't see that happening. And that
I will not be playing this game at 30 FPS. I'm not paying $80 to play a 30 FPS game. Like, if you're
do you
not,
think they would
if
tell
you
us that
cannot,
ahead of time, or do you think we would just have to figure that out when we boot up the
They
game?
have to say. I think they'll say it.
Okay.
yeah,
I don't think we live in a world where they're going to launch a game and not tell you.
I hope so. I hope so. But it's Rockstar, so I'm always like, they don't have to, so maybe they won't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know what all of
30,
the I want to know what all of the resolutions do. Performance, super quality, whatever the hell they're doing. I want to know what all of them do and what you can expect.
True.
Yeah, and like JG was saying, I have the article up. Retailers are worried that there's going to be a shortage of consoles because, and this is an interesting story in itself too. Retailers are complaining that due to the memory shortage, they're worried there won't be enough Xboxes and PlayStations when GTA 6 comes out. So if you have not gotten your current gen console, because it's not next, it's current, you might want to get it now before November, because come November, December, it's going to be very hard to find a PS5 or an Xbox they're predicting, which I find to be very interesting, because one of the best excuses, or the most common excuses I see from PS4 motherfuckers is, oh man, you shouldn't make fun of me because I can't save up for a PS5. How are you able to save up for a $900 PS5 the day GTA 6 comes out, but you couldn't do it for anything else? Like, what are we talking about, man?
It's going to be even worse now. It's literally going to be even worse. Like, this is the first generation that we've seen consoles appreciate, not just like twice. Like, Microsoft increased the price twice of their Xboxes. I've never seen this before. And now, like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, in my mind, I can't fathom someone not playing anything, I guess, on current gen, period. And you don't have at least a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, and you're going to spend that cash to get one video game that you've been waiting on. I was like, damn, like, what have you been doing all this time? Have you literally just been trying to trudge along with your last gen consoles, or you have a PC and you just never just wanted to play anything? Like, I don't know. I just can imagine like all the things that I would miss out on throughout these 6 years and just waiting on one video game, and I don't have anything. So that was crazy to me just to think about.
This entire conversation aside, what version of the game are y'all buying? Because this is a gaming podcast. Be honest.
$80. I would never touch a $100 edition.
I'm getting the 80.
Maybe not buying it at all. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm on the boat.
That I would buy it is if there's literally nothing for me to do in November, which is possible.
I might join that protest. If that shit is 30 FPS, they come out, I might skip it too and just wait for the PS. Because that is
why
crazy.
am I paying? I'm paying $80 to play a worse version of the game because you guys couldn't, in this span of time, figure out how to put it out on PC right away. I think that's ridiculous.
We know why it's not on PC.
I think it's
because
insane.
they get all their money from console sales.
They get all their money.
And-
We don't be
yeah.
buying the
PCs don't be
shark
buying
cards.
shark cards like that as
They
much.
don't
Yeah,
be
it's like
getting
third.
shark cards.
Yep.
But this is a single player experience exclusively.
That being said, freaking for those unaware, there are scams going on. Those who are super excited about buying it, and please be aware of it. Scam websites are popping up left and right, promising if you enter their contest, they will give you an early access of GTA 6, and you're just giving away your information and cryptocurrency, because that's usually how they do these things. As well as they're also scalpers are reselling on eBay pre-orders for $130. I don't understand.
Why? How does that even work? I don't even like. I don't get it. How does it work? It's an online pre-order. It's like, why would you be going to eBay?
Now this one, I'm just like, can we just blow the world up and start over? Because like, if you are that Tylenol popping that you are going to buy a pre-order edition of Grand Theft Auto 6, which nobody has in their hand, that's a case with the digital code in it, then you need to obviously get your head checked, because something is seriously wrong. They don't run out, people. There's nothing tangible in these editions. I think that's another thing that pissed me off. There's literally nothing tangible with these physical editions. Forget the disc. There's nothing else tangible in this. Like, can I get an action figure? Can I get a map? You remember when the game?
I was going to say, I remember getting the physical edition of San Andreas, because we didn't really have digital like that as much. And it's got the map, and you got your book. You at least had a booklet that had a map.
You knew half the game before you got home from school.
Yeah, exactly.
I was reading it on the way home from picking it up, and oh man, we don't get any. We can't even get a disc now.
I just want to know what's going to be in this case, because like it's just,
I guess
like it literally hurts my soul, but like. The people preying on like somebody who just doesn't know any better. Again, I would hope that this is your favorite game, that like you just literally just been waiting on this, that you would at least do a little bit of research and see what's up. Like, because I just couldn't imagine like somebody getting this scam off on people, let alone the other one talking about early access, because man, it's bad out here.
I think the part that like really hurts my heart too is like, once again, we have not seen this game. So even if I would say, if you're listening to this and you don't give a fuck what we just talked, all this group economic shit about this game, right? At bare minimum, all I ask people is, if you are interested in that $100 edition of the game, before you pre-order, because digital pre-orders do not run out, could you please at least wait to see some gameplay to decide whether or not you're interested? I think that's the part that scares me, that it's like people are just pre-ordering without seeing anything. And it's like, come on, man. Like,
that's what I've been saying. It's like, I mean, you've been saying as well. We've all been saying it, I think, is like, there's no reason for you to pre-order a game like months and months and months from it coming out, because each platform is different. Some will take the money right away, some will take half, some will take it like before it comes out. But if you want the pre-order bonuses, just pre-order the day before it comes out. You don't need to have a company holding on to your money for months.
They literally give you the day after. They said if you pre-order before November 20th, then you'll get a special Vice City pack. And I'm just like, okay, they literally give you a day after in order to still pre-order and get the bonus. So this one game, I didn't expect it to be this bad, but it's like really bad the way that like people are reacting to this. I'm just really sad for the world, because this one game is, like TBA said, this is a canon event. I think this is going to set like ripples throughout not only the video game industry, but I think the entire world, and I think how we start to view like entertainment and essentials, like what is going to be really important in your life. And this one game and this one company should not have this much power.
We're gonna see how it plays out. This is a test. The industry's in danger. But the good news is that Sony has a plan to revitalize it all. According to this article, PlayStation wants to revitalize the market with more live service games. In a recent interview, president of Sony Interactive shares insights about PlayStation's strategy for live service titles. He emphasizes that Sony believes live service games have the potential to reach players on a global scale. The company aims to revitalize the market through both first-party and third-party content. In terms of live service content, PlayStation is not only focusing on marketing its upcoming titles, but also considering how to enhance existing games in both the medium and long term. The CEO emphasized that it is crucial to continuously provide new content content for live service games, as this genre is still relatively new and many developers are experimenting with different approaches. PlayStation aims to continue to take on challenges within that context. And then he also reaffirmed, but don't worry, you know, the God of Wars or the Ghost of Tsushimas, they're still coming, but we're letting you know right now, the PS5 is the live service machine. Do you think this can save the industry, Ethos?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. That's all I can. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing that's killing it, he's like, we need more of that. Like, wait, what? Like, whoa.
You just need one, man. That's the logic. You just need one banger. That's all you need, man.
That is the logic.
Just one.
Once again, man, Sony, please, like, y'all, what are y'all doing, bro? What are y'all doing? This is, first of all, this is bad timing. Second of all, y'all didn't learn y'all lesson. Like, you had Concord, the Last of Us situation, Destiny 2. Y'all only have 2 games now, Helldivers, and
one.
I mean, if you want to consider MLB The Show, and we're talking about nothing that's on other platforms that y'all, well, now Helldivers, because that's on PC, so technically that don't count either. So MLB The Show, you really got one. So I don't. What are you talking about? What are you going to enhance that's already out? And you're going to still double, triple, quadruple down on making more live service games, and you think that that's what the people want and that's what's going to revitalize the industry? No, I think y'all have shown that, you know, proven that y'all are bad at managing live service games, let alone making them. And so I just don't. I don't get what y'all are planning to do that's any different from the failures that y'all have already been through in the last 5 years.
I think the thing that's concerning to me about this quote is him talking about trying to find new ways to enhance things. And I'd argue you can't when it comes to live service games. I'd argue live service games are the opposite of creativity, because the game has to last 10 plus years. They have to create a gameplay loop that they can constantly update and keep it similar and just change it a little bit enough to bring people back. But you can't change it too much because then it'll piss people off. So that stifles creativity. That's why, besides the microtransaction shit, I think this stuff is the fucking devil, and it's ruining the industry. So for him to say we got to find ways to enhance it, it's not possible. You cannot keep changing the gameplay loop and hoping people stay, because if you change it, they're going to go play something else. Wait a minute, this ain't Apex. This ain't the shit I grew up with. They're going to hate it. So like, this is a concerning statement to me, because me personally, I didn't buy a PlayStation to play live service games. I want the more creative single player experiences. As much as we make jokes about it, they do have an identity about the third person over the shoulder camera and stuff. I just wish they would mix it up a little bit more with the gameplay styles and stuff like that. So I don't like this. I don't like this, man. I don't know if this is going to revitalize the industry on this one.
I don't know. How many are they making right now? I only know, I guess there's like 3 that I know of that they're making, but I'm sure there's plenty more. All I can say is the developers working on these games, get your bag for as long as possible, because they're getting paid. They're getting paid to make the game, and then if it ends up not working out, it ends up not working out. But yeah,
unfortunate. And also, what's unfortunate is the Xbox Series is going up in price. Unfortunately,
how much though? I couldn't find it anywhere in the article.
So the Xbox Series S is going up $100 and $150 depending on, you know, which model you got with the hard drive, and then the same thing with the Xbox Series X. So the Series S is going to $600 and the Series X is going to $800. That's $150 cheaper than the PlayStation 5, but you know, due to RAM shortages, and this starts on August 1st, by the way, so you got about a month if you're interested in Xbox at getting it at the current price, and this only affects the United States. But yeah, my bad, not the United States, but worldwide. Yeah, you got about that much time. I read, and I don't know if this is true or not, that apparently it's a 6-to-1 in terms of GTA 6 pre-order sales on PlayStation to Xbox.
Oh, I'm sure.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then Sony was also like very recently, Sony and Rockstar are both like GTA is going to be played best on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like the fact that they're selling 6-to-1 copies, and then you raise the price of the Xbox, I don't know if this is going to make people want to go buy an Xbox, knowing that all your friends are going to be on PlayStation, even though it is more expensive on PlayStation if you don't own one already.
I just found it funny that like in the article, they're like, guys, we have payment plans. Here's how the payment plans work. And also it's going up by this amount, but I'm not going to tell you what the amount is in total. You're going to have to go look up what the current price is and then add this new price onto it. And then that's the price. But here's a payment plan. It's right there.
Once again, just you know what's even funny about this? Literally, like I think it was like a couple of days earlier, someone interviewed Asha, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, the gaming industry is becoming real unaffordable." And then you do this. I'm like, shit, you contributed to it. What the fuck?
That's why we side-eyeing everybody, and before anybody in the comment section starts clowning Xbox, this is everybody, because we also got an article stating that the PlayStation 6 will reportedly cost $960 in materials to manufacture. Now, just for the illiterate out there, because we're in a literacy crisis, this article is stating it's going to cost $960 to make. That means it's most likely going to cost like $1,100 to $1,200 to buy, because they also have to turn a profit. We're in hell right now. I don't want to hear about PlayStation 6.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear about it. You keep making games for the PS5, because I'm not spending like $1,300 on a PlayStation.
This was another thing that I got into a little spat about, and because it was someone who was like listing all of the reasons why a PS6 should come out right now, and none of them talked about affordability.
What were their reasons?
Not one. I will look it up real quick, because I don't want to. I don't want to butcher.
Because like when I think about, I'm like, I don't actually like. Why do people even want a PS6 right now? I feel like games still are there's only a few games that really take advantage of the PS5 right now.
For me, from like a selfish standpoint, is, you know, it used to be when we were younger, the console generation was 5 to 7 years, and then you would upgrade. I'm a tech enthusiast, so I just like to see technology evolve, and I want to see things get better. But I think now that I'm older, I'm an adult, I can recognize like, nah, this ain't the time. Like, as much as I would love to see Moore's Law still be in play, Moore got to slow the fuck down now, because the world is on fire. So like, I get it.
Agree. Yeah. So he says Sony is not pausing the new console because people are emotionally attached to the PS5. Is anybody emotionally attached to the PS5?
It's a piece
in here?
A fucking
I don't think so. I was like, what are you talking about? I'm not emotional. I don't think I've ever. Well, I will say I think in the very early days I was a Sony fanboy, just a little bit. But I was like, I don't care. Like when I got older, I don't care about this stuff. He said the PS5 generation is already hitting its limits, which I disagree with. GTA 6 is about to expose what these consoles can really do, which again is they're claiming that this game is going to push the limits, which we haven't seen any gameplay yet.
Well, then if that's true, then it should be coming out on PC, because
exactly. Yeah, puts the limits on the system that you made the damn Game Boy.
I'm telling you, it's nobody more with a better imagination on earth than a GTA 6 fanboy. Like they let that shit run wild. They turn it Ernest Hemingway, boy.
They're saying it 100% facts, bro. And they're like,
I'm telling you, GTA gonna cure cancer, bro. Like, are you okay? Like
seriously. He said PlayStation Pro fans will be lucky to get 45 FPS in quality mode.
Oh my lord!
Yo, you okay?
I just got the joke. That was such a literary joke.
It was a good
that was
joke.
A fucking book nerd joke.
He said a PS6 is not about needing it later. It is about what games will demand next. And I'm just like,
brother, nothing. None of them.
Yap.
And this goes back to, I'm like, what are y'all seriously expecting for like the next gen? Like, what is going to be the next wave of video games, and how they're going to look and perform? I don't think anybody knows right now, and I think it would not hurt anyone to wait until these prices go down. Like, I don't need you all to bring us the next wave, which again, since I'm a mainly PC gamer now, we're already to that point. And consoles are playing catch up. So for any of you all who are listening to this, who have this weird notion that the consoles are pushing everything forward, no, that's not true. And it's never been true, because the consoles have always been weaker than most mid-grade PCs. And now we're in a situation where if you're trying to get something high-end, everything has been priced up, so nobody can afford to upgrade their PCs. So we need to sit still, let everything finally stabilize itself. Then we can start talking about the PS6 and the Project Heaters. I don't need this right now, and I don't know why anybody else feels like they need this right now. TBH rags on you PS4 motherfuckers every damn podcast, and y'all talking about jumping up to You going up 2 numbers and you don't even own a PS5 yet, which is also went up in price. What is going on, bro? I don't understand.
I don't think these people played Death Stranding 2. They probably didn't, because like, why would they play Death Stranding 2? Because that was a game that was on PlayStation 5 that I was like, okay, damn, this is what a PS5 can do. Because I don't see a lot of games push the console like that. I actually don't think in a lot of cases we see a lot of games pushing how amazing a game could possibly be on a console until right at the end. And like personally as well, with the way the game industry is going, I don't want game developers to be making their games higher fidelity than they currently are, because they already take too long. So if we're trying to make an even more higher fidelity
Bigger
game
files
for a
too.
PS6, we got bigger files. Exactly. These games are huge. You're gonna they're selling versions of the game of the console that you won't even be able to put like 2 games on. So you're gonna have to get like the 2 terabyte version, which Xbox got rid of their 2 terabyte version. By the way, it's not even gonna be a thing because the price is gonna be so high. So no, I don't think we need to be having new consoles. We can have the games already look incredible. We don't need it to go any better. Not necessary.
What you smiling about, Ethos?
I just saw my timeline Kiki Palmer.
This man wants some other shit.
She grabbed the mic from Drewski and said, "This should have been my gig. Why the hell did they have you host?" And then she
the BET Award.
Oh, BET. Oh, yeah.
It was actually pretty funny. And he's just sitting there like, oh, it was like, you know, when remember the Migos where like they were about to get up and fight Joe Budden, and then Activists was back there like it was like the same type of
Who's
vibe.
left all bad and booty?
Yeah.
I would left all bad booty.
You would.
I don't know why it's just random.
That's fucking funny.
Give a good laugh.
What else is funny is Sony's been caught in another lie. So they're pulling their games off Steam, and the CEO said it's because they don't sell on PC. We all know that shit was
lies. That's a lie.
Because a couple of years ago they said our games are selling great on PC, but all of a sudden when Xbox started fucking up, they decided to pull their games back. Also with the RAM increase, my theory is they want people to buy more PS5s because the price of the PS5 is going up. So they need to have exclusives on that platform. But a report has come out that PlayStation's PC ports have reportedly generated nearly double the revenue of Xbox's PS5 ports, but Sony is still quitting Steam. So we got numbers from Alinea Analytics that prove that Sony's full of bullshit. Because I went up and opened the calculator. So if you look on this graph they get right here, Helldivers sold almost 13 million. Then you got 4 million, 4 million, 3 million, 2 million. I did the math on Horizon. I did 4 million times $70. That comes out to $280 million. So I mean, with Helldivers, that's easily cracking probably $1 billion. God of War is another 280 million. In my head, I'm like, that's not enough money. Mind you, this doesn't include the PlayStation sales. These are just PC numbers years after the games come out, and they said, that's not enough fucking money. At what point do we start to say, all right, man, maybe Sony's just evil, just like the rest of these fucking corporations, and just lying, and they're trying to control everything? You're smiling, Ethos. Oh my goodness. Is he frozen?
No.
I thought he was fucking frozen. My bad.
I don't know. But I mean, like I said, when this conversation came up, like it's extra money for y'all at this point. So why would you just abandon that and just give this what I feel like is a half-assed reason as to why you're pulling them and saying that they're not generating you money? I saw some people saying that, well, you know, it costs extra money for them to, you know, port it over. But again, what are you porting over when you're already making the game on the PC? Like I hate the argument. And Ethos, I don't know if there's any additional insight that you can put on this, because I mean, I may be wrong or ignorant to the situation, but do you think that it takes really any additional money, like significant amount of money, to port over a game that was previously on a console to the PC?
Not anymore. It used to be bad back in the day because of the different architectures the consoles had compared to PC. You remember how like infamously PS3 versions were infamously different from a performance standpoint, would have issues.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, a lot of both PlayStation and Xbox both have architecture that is That is like, I think it's like x86 or something.
Yeah.
It's basically where it's very similar to PC architecture. And a lot of times the way that people are building, it depends on how game engines are built, custom engines. So it really depends on the type of engine. But most of the modern engines now, like they're just innate, they're just built in a way where the only headache will be is when you have to rebuild the profile of how you export the files so that it works with the platform. But PC is way easier to export for, to be able to read those files than specifically like Xbox or PlayStation, because there's specific profiles you have to build them for. The big expense will be is, of course, PC has a multitude of different platforms, multiple different types of configurations. So really the biggest price upfront when you have a PC version is, you're going to be spending a decent amount of money, just like, in the testing phase, because you have to test for a multitude of different hardware configurations to make sure that they work at least decently enough to your specs. So that's really what I think where like most of the price aspect kicks in. But from like an actual like technical, like we're going to take our game and put it on PC, it really depends engine, but I really haven't heard, especially lately, I've really haven't heard of any horror stories lately of like, we built our game to work on specifically PlayStation 5, and now to get it on PC, I mean, it's much bigger of a headache. I just don't really think that's the case. That's not really a problem anymore. I don't. Really
And again, I mean, you're just looking at the number from Sony alone. All right, let's say that Helldivers costs, I don't know, just bringing up like, I don't know, a $500,000. I feel like that's too much, but $500,000 to port over. They still made their money back and then some. Like, you made a significant profit. So again, I'm just speaking, and thank you for explaining that. But I'm just thinking from a logical standpoint, y'all are still making so much money. So I don't think that it would cost y'all a significant amount of resources, and that's money and man hours, to port these games over. So what are y'all truly saying? Y'all acting like y'all game didn't sell at all. Even though you brought these games out 2 years later, a lot of these games 2 years later, they still sold like hotcakes, because once again, there are a lot of people on the PC who just do not go out and buy a console. They will wait, and they bought your games, and they were in the top 10 on Steam every time that they came out.
Yeah, I think Sony's argument would be valid if they pulled up the analytics and we saw these games like Spider-Man was only selling like 200,000 copies, Helldivers 100,000. I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Every one of these games on this chart sold millions of fucking copies years after it came out. They're just lying, bro. Like what is the point of this, bro?
Some people will be thankful to sell 1 million. Y'all sold 2.7 for Spider-Man. Like, come on, man.
I don't know what the point. I guess they just don't want to say like, oh, we're going back to exclusives because we want to be able to sell PS5s and we want to stay in the console race. I mean, I think I'd respect it more if they did. If they were like, look at what happened to Xbox. We don't want to be those guys. So we're just going to keep the value of our console by having exclusives. But the whole thing of saying like, well, they just don't sell on PC. We know you're lying. I can see it. I can see it with my eyes.
We can't afford shit.
Right, looking at the numbers.
We're gonna buy that no one can buy now because it's too expensive. Well, what are we talking about here? It don't make no sense.
Well, I heard the other argument that said that Sony was afraid of the Project Helix possibly being able to play their games on there, and they were like, "Oh no, we don't want that," because they were saying you could, depending on what this ends up being, if it's really going to be more of a computer, then they don't want the PlayStation games to be played on the Project Helix. And I'm like, well, we still don't know anything yet, so again, I'm not going to try to run off of what allegedly could happen. But even still, like, would you be mad if they did? Because wouldn't that still generate an extra sale for you if they could play your games on there? Would it just simply be like visually you're like, I don't want to see that, like Sony, I don't want to see that.
Ask Sony.
Hold on.
Allows you to do it. Like,
just for reference, I got on the screen the 2024 best game of the year.
Yeah,
Astrobot.
What's on their best sellers?
Astrobot sold 1.5 million copies in the last 2 years. By Sony's definition, that's a fucking failure because God of War only sold 4.5 million on PC. Like, what are we talking about?
4.5 million is insane, by the way.
It is.
That's so much.
Liars.
Somebody's
Call-
lying.
calling
Somebody's
camera.
lying.
Somebody's lying.
Also, you Sony motherfuckers don't buy games, but anyways.
No fire.
That shit is fucking funny, man. What also is funny is Xbox's CEO said Call of Duty is bigger than the MCU. Do y'all agree with that statement? This is a Twitter conversation and people are arguing about it. She said with the current state of the game and its popularity, it's bigger than the MCU. I see you shaking your head, Jay.
No. No. I know that the MCU has, kind of been in a down period, but even still, like, I know that, the whole money comparison was brought up, and while Call of Duty was pretty close to the MCU, I think overall, I mean, we're just speaking about the MCU, not just Marvel, period, but just the MCU, I think no. I think they got a little bit too much dip on their chip. I know that they announced that this movie was going to be coming out, but I highly doubt if someone had the choice to go see the new Call of Duty movie or go see the next MCU, if they are pitting it against like Doomsday, for example. Nah, it's not even going to be close. Call of Duty is going to get kicked out of the water. It's not even going to be a conversation. So I found that to be absolutely hilarious that they may think this, but clearly you're just looking at the overall numbers that Call of Duty has generated compared to the MCU and are saying this, rather outlandish statement.
I think this would be a fair comparable statement if this statement was made during the Black Ops 2 Modern Warfare days, like the heyday. I think that might be okay, but like right now, like Modern Warfare 4 is about to get lost in the shuffle. This might be the first year where it's just so many games coming out. It'll still do numbers, but like I wouldn't be shocked if it dips a little bit this year. There's no way in hell Modern Warfare 4 is competing with Avengers Doomsday. That is going to be a cultural moment this year across all mediums. So no, it's not bigger than the MCU in my opinion.
No, I don't think so.
What's the name?
You got to be careful what you say. You're starting to sound a little out of touch, maybe.
Sure, we're side-eyeing you.
Doing a little pandering, instead of being in touch with the culture.
You said people are jumped the gun?
Yep.
The gun might be jamming?
They think this movie gonna be some hot shit. We don't even know what it's gonna be about.
What's the name? That's a perfect segue to Sega, because I feel like by this article, it feels like they're a little bit out of touch. There's no mouse behind my words, but Sega plans to shift to influencers after Sonic and Shinobi sales disappoint despite strong reviews. So basically, the CEO of Sega was complaining that despite some of their recent releases getting really good reviews, like Shinobi and Sonic Cross Worlds, they did not sell well. They said the company is planning a significant transformation in both organizational structure and mindset towards building and expanding fandoms that drive sales. And it said it's focusing on the expansion of third-party recommendations, including those from influencers and its users. Translation, IGNs and the GameSpots of the world will no longer be the priority, and potentially, content creators who overhype every goddamn thing probly will. They're going to start paying people.
Pay me to play Shinobi because that game is dope.
See, Watts is ready to sell out. Look out.
Shinobi is like, it was one of the best games when last year came out last year. It was one of the best games. Like that combat in that game is so fluid, and oh man, that game is phenomenal. Phenomenal game.
Yeah, I feel bad for Sega because they are putting out good games in their defense, so I can understand why they feel frustrated. But my personal perspective, I think the issue has to do with there's just more competition than ever, and I think it's time for companies to start being honest with themselves and asking yourself, if we want to release this game in September, can we compete with everything else? I don't think they did. It feels like Shinobi, I remember it got really good reviews. A couple people in the group chat were talking about it. So did Sonic Cross Worlds, but like, it kind of just released out of nowhere when there was a bunch of competition in those months. And I think that we're going to see more games fail for the simple fact that like it's just too much going on and everybody can't afford everything and they don't have the time. So I think that these companies need to start looking at the calendar a little bit stronger and thinking about, hey, usually July's pretty open. Maybe we should move to July. Top of August is usually open. June was wide open.
Wide open. Yeah. No, I said the same thing. There's a couple games that are coming out in July that normally if it was a busy time, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not playing that. But because there's not much going on when they're coming out, they look decent enough that I would want to give it a try because nothing else is happening. And that's what your game can have if you're not trying to come out with sandwich between Control and Onimusha and Phantom Blade and all these other games.
I think they still have this mindset that gaming is a kid's thing, and they fail to realize it actually went up. The average gamer, it used to be 35, is now 36 years old as of this year.
It's getting older than me.
And I think that concept. So for those unaware, the reason why a lot of popular games release in the fall is because they want to be there for the Christmas sales, and that has to do, in my opinion, with gaming did used to be a kids thing. But I think these companies need to realize it's no longer a kids thing. We got money to spend year round. I mean, look at the way they was ready to toss money at that $100 edition of Grand Theft Auto. So like that idea of we have to be there for Christmas does not matter. The only thing you need
we
to
also ain't going outside in the summer, so you can release them right now.
Yeah, true. That's true.
We got the money, we got the time. Like you just need to advertise it correctly and position yourself to win. I don't think these companies are positioning themselves to win.
I took a look at when Shinobi came out. It came out August 29th last year. But you know what came out like literally the next week?
What?
Silk Song.
See?
Oof.
So who was going to play Shinobi, honestly? I mean,
and they were both 2D Metroidvania type of games.
It was tough. Yeah, you're not competing with that. So again, you know, that
may Shinobi's better though.
That,
It's not a Metroidvania, spicy. But I think the combat is better. Like that game's combat is phenomenal.
Somebody's typing in comment right now.
Phenomenal.
Expedition 33 used AI art and Silk Song's the best game ever.
Yeah, so I think that might have been just bad luck, you know, because we didn't even know when Silk Song was going to come out. So I think it was just terrible luck then, because it wasn't really anything too crazy, but literally it was like the last week of August. So you know, September is pretty heavy. So Silk Song came out, then you had the Ball and Gun Gamers, you got 2K. So it was a little tough. Yeah, Borderlands, which I don't know if anybody cares about that anymore, but it was something when it came out. People did want to at least try it. So it was a couple of things that came out in September that may have, you know, stifled it a little bit. I don't know what Sega is. I mean, it's funny because now that I, you know, am in the program, now I have been seeing like some of the campaigns that they have been having, and some of, you know, the two games here, Sonic Racing and Shinobi, you know, have been in some of those campaigns. So I see they are trying hard to get influencers to make content around it, and you know, offering certain things, certain incentives if you do create the content. So I see they are already shifting to try to get more influencers to create content, but I think maybe
let me in earlier.
Yeah, I think they need to also start offering more money monetary campaigns just to play some of these games if that's what they truly care about. Because I think people will, some people will, you know, some people chill out, but some people will give more honest opinions, and the people are just like overly like, oh, this is my favorite game ever. I don't think that's going to be genuine either, doing it that way. So we'll see, but like you said, T-Rex, like they're not making bad games. So I will at least say that about Sega. They're not making bad games. Obviously, we got Stranger Than Heaven that's on the way. So you know, I'll be, you know, most likely doing some stuff around that. And then you got Persona 4, which is going to come out next year as well. So you have some genuine games that people do care about. I think you will get those genuine reactions and opinions about them. So we'll see, you know, how you know, hard that they go when it comes to trying to get more influencers. But we'll just see, like, ultimately what they decide to offer, because I think that's going to be the most important point. Yeah.
Because I think if you're doing the campaign of like, make a video that gets X amount of views and then you might get a code, like that's no, you can't be doing that. It's got to be like guaranteed. Some kind of, it's got to be a guarantee, or it's got to be some kind of financial thing, because it does kind of rub me the wrong way a little bit with these companies that are like, do work for a code or something, or like do work and maybe you get something, because it's like you're devaluing the work that content creators do. Because it's, if someone is making a video specifically for your thing, like they are putting in time that they're not doing something else, so they should be rewarded in some way from doing that.
Agree, especially if it's a dedicated video and it's not just like a implementation, like into the podcast, like a minute read or some shit like that. Like, nah, you gotta pay. That's one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of brand deals. You gotta cough up, buddy. That's Sega. And last week though, we did have a bunch of game previews, which reminded me we still have a lot of games to play, and we're going to talk about all of them as much as we like or as little. And the first one I'm going to bring up is A Plague's Tale: Legacy Renaissance. That I forgot was coming out, but IGN dropped a 10-minute
Resonance
review. Oops, I heard the goddamn audio. I thought this looked really good, but I thought from this preview it surprised me because this is more of an action game versus the last two games were more like stealth action with a heavy emphasis on stealth. But this looks to me more in alliance with like Assassin's Creed, but like it still has the puzzles of the first two games, and I'm okay with that. I think for me, I'm a little bit worried about those. The puzzles look good, but the action does look like something I've played before. So I would like to see more of that. It looks a little samey, and I'm worried because coming off of Requiem, I talk so high about it. I feel like my fucking reputation's on the line here. It just looks like they could be going back. I don't know. I just want to see more depth from the combat. But what did you see from this that you liked or disliked, Watts?
I think the animations look a little not bad. I just think they look a little
rough. They do.
Yeah, they look a little rough around the edges. It's not a huge deal. It's not going to make me go, "Oh my god, I'm not going to play this game." But it does, with them having the focus on it being more action based. I think that does kind of put more of a focus on those animations maybe being a bit better than they are. But then if the storytelling is just as strong as their previous games, but they're doing, giving you more options for action, then I think that's fine. Because then you're just like, you're fleshing out a part of the game that wasn't fleshed out as much, but you're still maintaining the same quality in other parts of the game. So I hope that is the case. I think the game looks really good. I'm certainly very interested in playing it, especially because it's coming out at a good time. So yeah, I think it's looking good. The animations, I was just a little bit like, they could be a little bit.
I don't know what it is, but my gut just tells me this is going to be like a 15-hour game, and I hope I'm right. It just doesn't look as big in scale as the last game.
Yeah,
but I could be wrong. Jay, how you feeling about this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a lot more interested. While I wouldn't say that I didn't like Requiem, I'm obviously not the stealth type of person, so it's really not my forte. I'm just trying to get in there and mess stuff up. So for them to be focusing more on action, it definitely had me a lot more interested in it. And yeah, it does. It 100% gives off Assassin's Creed vibe, which again is not a bad thing. I think if they can nail this more from a story standpoint, I think this will have me hooked. I just don't know how this is going to really capture, I guess, the people who have never played any Plague Tale from this series. It's probably gonna be some people who feel like, hey, maybe I shouldn't jump in right now. There are those people, but I think that it will do enough again from those people who do like action games to hop into this one and try it out. I think that from what we saw, I think they have a good amount of balance between the action and the puzzle. They said, the IGN said it's Tomb Raider like, so Assassin's Creed meets Tomb Raider, and I think that's a fair comparison for sure here. But it looks really good, man. Like after seeing this one, we saw like little previews earlier, but after seeing this one, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm all in. So I definitely want to play this come August.
Okay. And Ethos?
Yeah, it looks cool. I haven't been able to play the other two yet, so
you can play this one first.
But I can play, yeah. So that has me really excited. So yeah, I think I'll check it out for sure. Story seems to always be the best suit about all three games or all two games. So looking forward to that.
Same. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 got a preview as well. It's a new gameplay, 10-minute video or 8-minute video. And this one they revealed it's going to have a new original story with a big open world. They have like an assist move where like basically you can come in and temporarily summon different characters from the Dragon Ball universe to help you fight, kind of like a tag assist and a tag fighter like Marvel vs. Capcom or Invincible. And then they also have the ability that you can temporarily summon like a Goku or Vegeta into the battle, and you take control of them to fight the fight and like big boss fights. And I'm not gonna hold y'all chat. I'm not interested in this. I'm trying. There's just nothing there. I was just like, I don't know. Did y'all feel any different? Did you watch the video?
Nope.
It didn't move me at all, man. I watched it and I was like, am I just wasting like 8 minutes of my life with trying to like get into this and see what's so different about it? I saw the people and again, like this is another one of those communities that you can't tell them anything. They are going to gobble everything Dragon Ball related up and not, care about anything else. So it's just going to be for them, like for the hardcore folks who really love Dragon Ball, especially if you love the Xenoverse series, you're going to love it. The first one was cool, but 2, I ain't even play. I don't think I'm going to be playing this one either.
I saw some people say that this is anime fans. This is their GTA 6. So I mean,
yes,
like if y'all like it, we love it, man.
Somebody literally said in the comment, "This is my GTA 6." I'm like, all right, well, you have it, man. You be happy.
The anime fans are gonna get exactly what you deserve. In my opinion, the more exciting and I think dark horse of this year was Star Wars Galactic Racer. That also got a preview video from IGN, and that shit looks fire. It looks fast. It looks frantic. You can see the DNA of former Burnout developers in here. But I think the thing that like interests me the most that I did not know, and this is why preview videos and gameplay is important, is because this is a roguelike game. Apparently each run is going to be different and you're going to be able to deck out your vehicle, as well as there's an original storyline where you'll be able to walk around with your character. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that's an interesting spin on racing games. Because going back to the Sega thing, I think Sonic Crossworlds is a good game, but like sometimes like kart racers can be kind of a hard sell in terms of replayability. And I'm like, okay, making a racing game a roguelike, making it so that every race is completely different because if the way your car is going to handle is going to be different. I was like, that's an interesting take. With the original storyline, I'm sitting up. I'm interested, as well as this game is. I'm gonna be honest, this looks like one of the best looking games of the year. This game is fucking gorgeous.
Absolutely.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
This preview sold me. Go ahead.
No, totally. I was like, I've been looking at it and I'm like, yes, it'd be cool to get another kind of like pod racing game. But watching this completely sold me on it. Same thing. I was like, it looks really good. You can clearly see the Burnout DNA in it. I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, this is really nice. But then they brought in the roguelike thing and I was like, hold on a second. That is really interesting because I'm sure there's been games that have done, racing game roguelike stuff, but I haven't played one and I haven't seen it done very often, if at all. So seeing it done in a game like this where they can get kind of crazy with it because it's Star Wars, you can have all sorts of stuff going on with the roguelike elements. So I was really excited to see that. And then I was also excited to see that you can get out of your car because a lot of these games, it's fine to just be driving around, but I feel like it makes me feel more attached to just the game in general. If I can see the character, I can walk around, I can interact with the world, and the world looks beautiful. Like if you're a Star Wars fan, this is like, yeah, I think you're gonna really love this, even if you're not super into like the racing part of it. So I'm keeping my eye on it, but I think you're right. I think this could be one of the better performing games this year in terms of like capturing an audience and people really loving it.
Does anybody know whether or not multiplayer has been confirmed for this?
I don't think so. There's no multi. I don't
remember.
That would be interesting with the rogue elements. But go ahead. What's your thoughts, Ethos?
I mean, I had on my parlay for a reason. I saw the vision.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool. I can't stress this enough. This reminds me so much of Star Wars Squadrons. I feel like it's a game that I think a lot of people underrated, didn't like think it would be anything, but the people who play are like, oh my God, this game is so cool, so good. It's definitely that different section of Star Wars that you really don't. You used to see a lot of games like built in that type of thing, but you don't see it anymore. This is a different type of game. Like Squadrons was about, being a pilot. This one is about a pilot, but you're racing. And I agree with what you're saying. Like it looks really cool. It has a multitude of different types of vehicles, different types of like locations that are being set up. Looks really good. But I also want to mention the sound. The sound is so authentic. It reminds me like straight rip from the movie. It reminds me so much of that. It's definitely one of these was like, I just got to feel it. I think that's the last thing that I just got to be able to feel it for myself. But at least from what I watch, like just watching it, it looks very visceral. And then like you said, like when I heard that there were some Burnout devs, there's ex-Burnout devs that were working on this, that kind of sealed the deal for me where I was like, okay, this might be low-key something special. Because that, there hasn't been a Burnout in forever, and there's been a whole bunch of controversy of like the original creators of Burnout that went off and tried to make their own, and that didn't work out really well. Shout out to Raycevic, because I didn't know a lot of the history about Burnout, but he has a really good video essay about the history of Burnout, and how there has not been to this day like a true spiritual successor that's lived up to the quality of Burnout. And it's funny because I was going to mention this. I DM'd him May the 1st. I DM'd him an image of the gameplay, and I said, "Hey, is this me or does it look like Burnout?" And I was like, "Is it true that more of some of the people who worked on the Burnout, but not really the original group?" And I was like, "I'm just gonna say after watching your video, and this newer Star Wars game kind of reminds me of Burnout." And he's like, "Yeah, I think Ghost Games merged with Criterion, so it's a mix of former Burnout and also later era Need for Speed games." He says, "I don't let myself get hyped for anything, but if you're not going to make a Need for Speed game, this is at least a solid reason to be shelving it. Certainly better than being a support studio for DICE." So, and also I would say the visuals too. It seems like a DICE game. Like if you had just like not told me who made this and I looked at it, I would have told you, "Oh, did DICE make this?" Because it reminds me a lot of like the UI and everything. It looks like something.
It looks like the Frostbite engine.
Yeah, it looks like a Frostbite engine game. Yeah, so. To see it though, like this seems like I'm really excited. So I think like this definitely is going to be a game I'll be playing 100%.
Another game I would not be surprised is like 15 to 20 hours, and I will not complain.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm actually like pleasantly surprised that like this isn't just a multiplayer experience, because that's what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just like Mario.
You know what's crazy? This could have totally been some live service slot.
Yep.
Multi-microtransaction, just trying to get you to race, and it would have probably died in like a month. That they said no, it's a single player game, and even a roguelike, like what you and I watch is like, oh, that's interesting. Like this got my interest. Yeah, so like just taking that extra, it's like I just hope I'm gonna be realistic. I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of people don't buy this game. But I because Squadrons also didn't get a lot of people to try it out. Like it took a lot of word of mouth to get people to try Squadrons. But I do hope that with the preview and everything else, I think, and I'm looking at the comments. The comments are overwhelmingly like, oh my God, positive. Like it's just positivity. So I'm just hoping people support it. Like if you guys are supporting this, is this even a $70 game? I don't even think this is like a full price.
I don't know.
I will say if there is no multiplayer, just based off the fact that there is so much emphasis on the story, they must be feeling really confident about like this is going to be just a fun single player experience. They're not hiding anything.
And it was crazy that we didn't know this game even existed until this year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
that's confidence. They showed it and said it's coming out this year. So yeah.
He said this game on Steam $59.99, so not $70.
There you go. Not even.
If you get the deluxe, it's $80. So there you go, true deluxe. But yeah, going back to the point you made, though, like I would have thought DICE would have made this too. I had to look it up. I was like, oh, Fuse Game. This is a new studio, and this is their first game. So, but again, it's all the people that you mentioned, together who created this studio. So I think it looks like a labor of love here, truly, in the Star Wars universe. Like again, we haven't seen a pod game in a very long time. So I think just with everything that they showed, again, I'm hooked on this one too, because this was gonna be maybe skip. Like I'll see how it is, but the game comes on in October, so I think it's gonna be another one on the list for me.
Yeah, like especially after playing Forza, I realize racing games are just old head games, and I'm old now, so sometimes want to go in a circle, bro. Like fuck it, yeah, just get it in, get off, bro. You start to appreciate them games more. And then last but not least, we got Beasts of Reincarnation. They got another preview. I said not least though. Okay, goddamn. We got another Beasts of Reincarnation.
Beasts of Reincarnation.
Game Freaks, the Pokemon creators, new action adventure game. With a mix of like Final Fantasy 7 kind of like that menu combat in there. It's like a mix of like turn-based as well as like traditional action. I'm gonna be honest, like based off what we saw in the past, I was already kind of sold on this game, so I was kind of just like lackadaisical watching this one. And my only real main takeaway I saw from this gameplay, because I already liked what I saw and I knew I was gonna play it, is the fact that it looks like it's more semi-open world, which I said, thank God. Like the scale doesn't look too big. It looks like it has just enough to bite on, but you always are going to know where you want to go, where you need to go. And that means it's going to be another 20 to probably 30 hour game. And I welcome that. I love these type of games. But yeah, I love the scale. The combat looks really cool. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I don't need to see anymore. Like I'm already kind of sold on this game. What about you, Watts?
I watched too much. I was hunting down. So this gameplay comes from a Bilibili event that was in China. So IGN, I don't know if they were the only like US publication that went over there, but I've only seen them posting this stuff. So if you want to see more gameplay, different gameplay, you have to look for Chinese, Japanese like creators or outlets to find that stuff. So I went on Bilibili to look for Beast of Reincarnation. And on there's someone who has just uploaded the entire demo that they were able to play. So it's like 45 minutes of Beast of Reincarnation. I watched a little bit just because I wanted to see raw gameplay without it being edited, but then I was like, I don't want to see the entire beginning of the game. I'm good. I don't need to see it all. But this game continues to look incredible. I'm so excited for this game. It's got it's super parry based. So the way that you power up, the way that it works is you're parrying with the girl who's the main character, and then that powers up your wolf companion. And then you can use his abilities to do a bunch of different things. And it's not just that, it does a bit of damage. There's clearly pretty in-depth stat stuff going on as well, because certain things will heal you. Other things will do +2 damage if you hit the exact circle correctly when you do the skill. Yeah, this game looks phenomenal. The music reminds me of Nier Automata. Stellar Blade as well has similar type of music. The world looks really cool. I like that they're doing this post-apocalyptic thing, but it's got tech mixed in with it, and nature is there. I love that. And the skill tree looks really extensive and interesting, so I'm super excited about that. And they said that, so the way that the IGN guy described the areas was that they were open zones. Love that. I love an open zone game. It's not open world. It's not straight linear. It's an open zone that you can explore. And he said that he was just beelining because he didn't have that long with the demo. But there were plenty of places that you could go and find a bunch of different things. There's loot to find. There's interesting, exciting things to find in the world. I am so excited for this game. I can't wait. I'm going to play a lot of it.
Yeah, there's big monsters in there to hunt. We know you like it.
Yeah, dude, I mean, we saw the first preview. I was like, hey, it has deflection, look like Sekiro. I was it. I didn't even need to see that, but so when I saw this, I was like, yeah, I don't need to see this, but I'll watch it anyways. I think one of the things, Watts, that you didn't mention that I really find interesting here is the verticality. And I was like, okay, some of these things that she's doing, using the vines, using her hair, whipping her hair back and forth,
she is whipping
and making bridges to get to different areas. I was like, okay, that's very unique. I like that as well. I wasn't expecting there to be verticality like that, but just from the combat alone, I'm hooked. So you do have to get good with the deflecting mechanics in order to get unless you just want to not.
Does anybody know if this game will be challenging or not?
They said that there's difficulty settings, so I'm going to put it on the hardest one.
Okay, well there you go. There you go. So yeah, but I don't need to see anything else. I'm all in on this one. It's gonna be my one of my most anticipated. It's gonna be one of them ones for sure.
Ethos.
I was getting a good laugh because what JG said was what I did. I'm not even joking. I checked the video time of this preview. I got 8 seconds and I paused. I saw the Sekiro. I heard the Sekiro parry.
Ding, ding.
I cost it. That's all I needed. I'm sold.
You love that parry slop.
The parry. I heard that parry slop. I'm a fucking parry slopper, bro. I love that shit, bro. I said I'm sold. That's all I needed. Oh man, I'm crazy. Oh.
Fair enough. I'm surprised I saw puzzles in there too. With the scale of the monsters, it looks really good.
Yeah, there was a chest that they came across, and then it had things that you had to go to find the different spots to open the chest. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it all looks really good.
See, they gonna get mad at us, man. They gonna get mad at us. You like this game, man? This is what your most anticipated, but Grand Theft Auto 6 ain't push the limits. Y'all saying this game ain't gonna push the limits, man.
Expedition 33 suck. That shit fake deep.
Y'all playing FromSoft games, man. You're just all the freaking FromSoft games.
It is what it is, man. Freaking now that we got all the main articles out the way, it's time for the lightning round. Things that I
What
didn't
about
think-
Sword Sage Awakening, TBH?
What?
What about that game?
Was that a preview for that? What's that? What's that? Are you serious? Sword Sage?
Yeah, Sword Sage
Awakening.
Awakening. It was at the same Billy event that Beast of Reincarnation was. IGN put out the story trailer, but they also put out the preview.
Oh, hold on.
TBH ain't gonna like it.
Souls like.
TBH ain't gonna like it.
This is like where the wind meets.
There's an axe.
Shut the fuck up.
This game, I'm not just doing soul swap. We're not just doing souls. I swear to God, there's something unique going on with it. So this game it's an action RPG. It's doing Souls-like stuff, but the thing that I really, really like about it is it doesn't have a dodge and it doesn't have a parry. So the way that they're doing their combat system is you press the block button. I assume it's going to be L1, and then you have to match what the enemy is doing direction-wise in order to counter it. So it will be like up on the stick if they're doing a high attack. It could be a left or right if it's a middle attack, and
It's
down
like that
if
Ubisoft
it's a
game.
down attack.
What was
The
that
For
shit?
Honor.
For Honor, yeah, kind of like For
Yeah.
Honor.
Yeah, but it's like it's a Souls-like that is around that. And I was like, that's really interesting because we've seen games like kind of dabble with this kind of thing before, but I haven't seen it really used in a Souls-like game. Also that was mentioned that the map design is very akin to like Dark Souls 1, which I love to see because a lot of developers just simply seem to forget that interconnected, really well-designed levels is a part of the genre, and they just want to make hard boss with flask and bonfire. So yeah, I'm keeping my eye on this game. I like that they're doing something unique in the space, and I will be playing it.
Yeah, thank you. I missed this one too.
Yeah, I did too. I like the concept with the combat. I do think the animations look a little rough around the edges though. But
yeah.
Did
they say when this game is coming out?
No, I think it's a pretty early look at it from what I can tell. I wouldn't even be surprised if they're like, hey, here's our game. Please give us money.
Please don't come out this year. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I don't think it will. I think 2027 at the earliest, I would say. But yeah, I'm interested in it.
Watch like that Simon Says Soul Slop.
You know what else there was?
What?
You'll be interested in this because this came out within the last hour.
Oh, what we missed?
Marvel Token Fighting. They have put out a new trailer showing off new characters.
Yeah.
You got Ghost Rider, Blade, Deadpool, and Loki. So
I see the trailer 1 hour ago.
I wanted to make sure we brought that up because I know people will be like, "Well, wait."
Yeah, that was out during Evo.
I put on the screen the first 10 seconds when it was recorded. Like we're recording during Evo, so if we miss anything, it's not discussed. Like that's why. That's all that is, bro. But I'm bringing it. I'm showing it right now. Let me take a look.
What do you think? Yeah, take a look at it and see what you think about the characters. I think they make the characters look so good.
We got Blade and Marvel Token before. On Xbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
He looks good too.
Yeah, his character design is fire. The way he's moving around, I like that. We had already seen Ghost Rider. I don't think that was new, right? I guess where we seen.
Yeah, Ghost Rider wasn't new.
Yeah, he's the team leader. So they're like Ghost Rider's team, and plus these new playable.
Which Ghost Rider is this? Is this Reyes?
Yes.
So you shot us.
It is. Yep.
Deadpool busting it open. What the hell?
He always busting it open.
What's new?
This game just looks so freaking good. And like, when does this come out again?
July. Oh no, August 6th. But they're doing the PC beta finally, July 24th and 25th.
Is anybody playing it besides me?
I'll play it.
Okay.
Because Marvel one of my favorite. I'll do more than a 3-hit combo, I promise.
Yeah.
Because Invincible came out and everybody just acted like that game didn't exist. So I was the only one talking about
it. Well, you were playing it. You were raging about it. So
yeah.
I rage on every fighting game, though, to be fair. Because I should win.
Try to play a little bit of it when I can in between 2XKO.
Boy. All right. Well, it's time for that lightning round. We appreciate Watts with the update, even though she stepped away for a moment. So here's what we got for you in this lightning round, which is, articles maybe I don't think are super heavy until we can bite into, but a little something. In the midst of the GTA 6 drama, and I'm curious to see if other devs will do this, Marvel's Wolverine team, Insomniac, came out on Twitter and said, our game will launch with a disc in a box. Do you think more companies are going to come out and say that, hey, our physical edition is going to have a disc? Like, they're just getting ahead of it?
Yeah. Someone shout out to Beast. He said, man, it's a shame that people had to say this, and some people were saying that it was performative. I said, to be fair, someone did ask them if the physical edition was going to have the disc. So I do think that some companies will indeed say it to be performative, but I mean, maybe it does need to be said, because now we don't know if this is going to, set another precedent, and physical editions aren't going to have the disc in the game anymore, coming up here. So
I don't even understand the concept of like letting people know what comes with the product is performative. Like, it's just information. Like, this is one of those ones where it's not that deep to me. Like,
yeah, it's in the box either. Right.
It's definitely a free jab that you can be like, and our game comes with a disc, by the way.
Yeah.
And people will probably go, okay with that.
Hey, I don't care, man. You need to tell them. Go ahead and tell Rockstar that, yeah, we have the disc in our game, in our physical game.
The disc is not enough. I need them to come out and say, well, you will have a disc in the box and the game will be on the disc. Because a lot of times with these discs, the game don't be on there. It is just a download code on the disc.
Facts.
So say the game on a disc. That's the selling point. We also got an update. I think we covered it last podcast or 2 podcasts ago. About there's an investment group within From Software that's trying to advocate for monetizing it more. They felt like it wasn't enough microtransactions. Now the rest of investors inside of that are trying to push them out, saying they need to shut the fuck up. So I was arguing, maybe we need to be worried about From Software games. It looks like not, because they're not fucking with it.
Yeah, they were trying to push the CEO of Kadokawa out, and there looks like he ain't going nowhere.
Yes, I mean, I was happy with this. Still haven't seen any. What's the game supposed to come out this year?
Yeah, Dustbloods is still apparently coming out this year. It was at the Nintendo Direct, and they said, "Yep, 2026."
Are we worried about that game yet?
Releases in November. Release it in November, please.
Are we worried about that game?
Yes,
I'm a little worried about it.
I'm gonna take a note out of the Rockstar fans. Nope. Rockstar never fails.
Oh my god, this is the game that's going to determine whether or not I buy a Switch, and we ain't seen shit.
Honestly, though, the Switch 2, now with all the prices of everything, the Switch 2 is actually kind of reasonable because it's $500.
And
compared to like 900,000.
I found out my Series X is worth almost $800. I'm about to sell that and get me a Switch now.
You should wait until GTA until people are panic buying.
I'm gonna go on Facebook Marketplace and sell it.
Yeah, if it does go out. Yeah.
Capitalism maxing. Okay.
Yeah.
The end of our lives.
Last of Us 2 mod for multiplayer coming out on PC. Multiplayer action, somebody's designing it. They canceled the factions, but PvP is coming. They show some gameplay. I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at the 25-minute demo. It's still pretty rough, but I mean, it is some hope there. It's on the YouTube channel Specializer if anybody's interested. I think the early animations look pretty decent, but like a lot of the maps weren't even like fully designed and stuff. It's very rough. Do y'all think that Sony will let him finish this mod?
Hell no.
The moment he drops that, they gonna nuke him, bro.
Yeah, that would be.
They need to though. Maybe they can actually get their live service game. They can get a live service game there.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's unfortunate we can't have nothing nice. If you're broke and need to make some money, Impulse is offering a way for you to make some money. They're offering $5 for every sale that you generate. They have a little creator program. So if you generate a code for Impulse, the new Titanfall clone, and somebody uses your code to buy the game, you can get $5. JG, will you be feeding your family with this?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not gonna lie. I think this game is probably DOA. I looked at the Steam DB, and it's at like 2,000. It's only gonna go down, and
it doesn't have longevity, unfortunately. Like it was fun to play when we were playing it. I was like, I'm having a good time, but I just can't see the longevity in it. Unfortunately,
yeah, I'm checking it right now. It's still at 2,000, and it's sitting at like mixed reviews. It's fun for free, but I was like, I'm not paying for this. Like, it's just not enough meat on the bone for me. But hopefully, you guys figure it out. You think they'll cancel this and then come out with Impulse 2?
No, brother.
Maybe.
Let's do it again. Run it back.
We're doing it again.
There'll be a Halo game now.
They're gonna remove the wall running in the mechs, and they're gonna be like Impulse 2. Be like, what? That's not all right. Lords of the Fallen 2 delayed till 2027. They said they're trying to dodge that GTA smoke allegedly. You know, anybody like
It's probably a good thing that they delayed it. Honestly, like the latest gameplay that they showed is the first one that I was like, okay, they might be cooking a little bit with the game.
It does look better. I'm not gonna lie.
It does look better. Like the thing that I've always been worried about with Lords of the Fallen, I played the other one. Their audio work is not good. Their audio is so bad in terms of the feedback for parrying and hits. And that was still even in like newish gameplay, it was still not there. But then the latest one, I think the audio is looking good. They've got a good mix of different combat things that you can do. I think it's looking good now. As much as I hate to say due to their Chud CEO, and I think the Chud entire development team, based on what I'm seeing, it might just be all of them there that are a little sussy. But yeah, I will say that I think the game itself is looking good. And I will also say that I appreciate that they heard that their fans wanted to play it on Steam and they made it happen. It will now be available on Steam when it comes out, not just Epic exclusive.
That's interesting. But watch, they have DEI on their dev teams.
But it was with merit. It's merit-EI.
What about the DEI in the game? Can you please explain where's the DEI?
No.
Nobody knows.
In more positive news, there was a lot of negative news on this show. Nintendo raised their employee salary by 10% due to the success of all their recent games and the Nintendo Switch 2 sales. They're paying the developers over there. They said, we maintain salaries at an appropriate level. We believe it's important to ensure that compensation remains at an appropriate standard. For example, we've increased raising salaries by 10%. Good story.
Good.
Hey, no, that's great.
It is good.
W. Genuinely, again, I know you ain't been incorporated in a long time, but they still doing 2% and 3%. That ain't enough.
I mean, you talking to me?
Yeah, TBH. Yeah, I'm talking.
Technically, G4 was corporate. And,
I forgot. Yeah, you did. But
fun fact,
a year though.
Fun fact. Now that it's failed, I found out I was the lowest paid fucking host there, and I was writing a lot of people's jokes and skits and shit. I was like, interesting. So yeah,
speaking of layoffs,
I get it. But anyways, Nintendo, cool that they're paying their employees. They should, because let's not forget, although GTA is about to run with the football, Nintendo started it with the $80 shit. They the one that gave people the idea. You better be paying people 10%. And then last but not least, we got layoffs at EA as well as Bungie. The rumors were true. With the Bungie stuff, they're going to be laying people off. I put it towards the end because I feel like we talked about it like the last two podcasts. But I don't know,
it was
if y'all
a rumor,
wanted to add
and then it was confirmed. And yeah, the Bungie stuff is basically it's really bad. It's basically the entire Destiny team and also some of the Marathon team. So it's basically like a little over half the studio is gone. It's
I see you at the top of the comments right here.
That Destiny never coming back, man.
And what do y'all feel like is the trajectory of Marathon? Do y'all feel like it's trending upwards, or like it's stagnant, or it's going down? How do y'all feel about it?
Stagnant at the moment, I would say. I mean, the game is really good. I can only just hope that they can do whatever they can to get more people playing it. But the game itself, it's in a genre that's a niche genre. So I think there's a hard cap on how much they're going to be able to do, regardless of how good the game is. And if that's going to be enough to sustain Bungie, I don't know.
It's over. Maybe I'm being a stickler about it, but like I think the news of them doing the PvE thing isn't going to matter. I'm still going to stick 10 toes down on that opinion. I know there's some people who disagree with me on that take, but I just genuinely do not see how them adding a PvE mode is going to all of a sudden wake a bunch of people up and be like, I'm going to now play Marathon out of nowhere. I think the only way Marathon even remotely has a chance, like if it was ever redone or seconded or something where it became a single player game, maybe. But I think
they add a campaign.
yeah, they add a actual like campaign and they
Yeah.
relaunch it as something different. That's the only way I could see it potentially like all of a sudden like a new birth to it. But I think at this point, I just don't see a path forward for Marathon to like revital, like just grab the market, because it's not even that the game's bad or that it's getting worse or something like that. I just genuinely believe that a lot of people are like I've said before, I think gamers are a bunch of man children. They don't take any chance to like evolve their opinions about things. And I think once they're full set on this, and I don't think Bungie with Destiny, I don't think Destiny does it any favors. I think now we had 60%, I think, of the player base of Marathon was playing Destiny players. So for being real, let's be honest here. Let's say half of them are man children who are going to cry about Marathon basically being DOA'd, so or just killed. So I think those, let's say 30% now of the Marathon community probably never going to touch it, just out of just protest and just being mad at the wrong person. So they're just going to further, dig them into the dirt and kill them further. That leaves you now into the realm of, what are we looking at, 2 to maybe like less than 10K every single time for Marathon. I think, best case scenario reality of the terrible reality we live in, I think Marathon keeps going for another year. And then I think Bungie becomes a sports studio.
Oof.
And I don't think, because now that they've gotten rid of some of the OG people, like I saw some of the people that got laid off, and these are not like lower end. These are some like OG devs.
If you were on Destiny, you're gone.
You're
basically.
gone. And they were very talented. The Destiny team was very talented. So in the words of Sweeney, now the industry has a bunch of amazing talent.
There's a lot of talent.
I trust my foreign employees will get a job.
Yeah, I think it'll be curious to see in a decade and a half to see how like maybe they spread off into different studios that are making shooters, and to see maybe that DNA creep up into new games that are brand new. But like, I just unfortunately I don't think there's a lightning in the bottle for Bungie anymore. I don't think there's any way that they're going to all of a sudden create something that's going to be as good as Destiny, because I think the well's already too poisoned. I think people are not going to trust them ever again.
It has a really, really bad stigma around Bungie. Like, just it's way before Marathon was even like a thing. People were upset.
People don't say that, Watts. They go act like everyone loved them before
Marathon wasn't around when they were deleting content from the game.
Yeah.
And that is something that I hear people bring up constantly.
Yep. I'd argue and say Destiny's downfall began, or Bungie's downfall began, when they did the content gating. I think that was when I think that was the first strike that started their tumble down to this. So I joke about it, but I genuinely believe the only way they survive is they gotta make Halo.
It's funny. It could work. 343 don't know what to do with Halo.
Yes,
just give it back to Bungie, bro.
Just make another FPS. Yeah.
Like,
it's Halo's on PS5. It can work.
I genuinely like they got to do some cross collaboration. Like, yo, we're gonna help 343. We're gonna make the next.
They're gonna have to do it like the way Sony lends Spider-Man back to the MCU.
Yeah, you gotta lend it back to Microsoft, or Microsoft's gotta lend it to Bungie to let them do it, or make some sort of deal where it's like, hey, look, like maybe we'll cut in part of the the hole you're in because of Concord, and you buying overpricing for Bungie, and you let them do that, because I just don't see a world where like. I mean, I can only fathom like morale's probably like hell. They've lost a lot of their leadership. I just don't see how. I mean, you got to have some rock star Kojima like startup young talent that comes in there out of nowhere and just revitalizes the whole thing, and like new vision, and just booms them into some new generation of like, we're going to create something completely like that's going to like revitalize and change the entire formula for first person shooters. And the worst part is, if Blue Point Games came out here and told them they wanted to make Bloodborne and make all these other games, and they got axed, I don't see how Sony even remotely gives Bungie even a chance, especially after they've just axed over half of the studio. I just don't see it happening.
The PvE mode sounds good, though. I will say
it do.
They're basically putting
minds. Let's ask right now. TBH, are you about to play Are you going to play Marathon with the new PvE mode?
No, and to be fair,
it's a roguelike.
Are you going to?
It's a roguelike. They don't even know what it is, Ethos. You gotta explain what it is.
They don't. No one's gonna care.
Yeah, I told it's not gonna move me to. Yeah, it's not gonna move me to.
I realize. I think Marathon's a good game, but like, I just don't like. What's the name? Extraction shooters like that. The gameplay loop doesn't hold me, and I think that's the actual. That's the biggest issue for that game. I feel like the industry thought that extraction shooters were the next big thing, and I just don't think it is.
Why?
I don't think it
I
is.
don't know why they thought.
They thought because Battle Royale. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
they were looking for the new
Probably, yeah.
BR, and
They were,
that circles to my next point. I think the funniest thing about this is after the failure of Concord and now the failure of Bungie, Sony's president has the nerve to come out, their CEO, and say, "Oh,
You know what?
we're going to revitalize. We need more live service games."
That's what I'm saying.
He needs to be sold into white slavery. I'm sorry.
What does that
This
mean?
man, Ults needs to be sold into white slavery for what he has done. They need to enslave that man. The way the audacity to write that note to Bungie when you're laying them off, knowing damn well that you are literally the centerpiece that made the marching orders for Marathon become what it needed to become based off of what you wanted. Sony needed a live service game to then make them go out and make all these other live service games to consult on a bunch of live service games. He needs to be hung. He needs to be hung from the rafters as the key problem behind why all these live service, why Sony's doing all this live service crap. He is the main person that's pushing this. So I have no I have sympathy for Bungie, for the people, because at the end of the day, this is very similar to everything we always hear. Where same thing with Microsoft when we deal with Phil Spencer, where it's like you are being punished for following the orders that have been given to you from above. You are being victimized because the people above you were incompetent and they made bad calls, but they're fine. Holtz is still going to be sitting around out here and telling you they need to make 10 more live service games. Why he has not been fired is beyond me. I don't know why the board has not done it, because I guess their argument is, well, if he can make us more money, man, fuck capitalism. This is why. If we can
I would
make
also
some
like
more
to
money,
state
this is what's causing it.
Ethos is speaking metaphorically, not literally. I hate that I have to say that, but like we're in a literacy crisis. Somebody might really, we need to hang them. Like,
Everything I mean real, I truly mean, but not I literally I did not mean physically hang him from a building.
Somebody, you gotta say it nowadays.
That is not what I meant. But I do mean, I would not mind him being sold into slavery. For what he has done.
So do you all want to need those? Do you think that there is a world where Sony just fully gives up on Bungie and just lets them go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's anytime soon, but I can definitely see them doing it.
Man, after spending all that money, you just
I know. I think
that's
why Bungie gets longer, but I don't think it keeps them safe forever. I think it's definitely like I think Sony understands what they have and that they can use it for something. But I think that just means that they're giving Marathon like a year or however long it's going to be. But I don't think it means that they.
Let me ask you this question too.
Here, TBH. Here, let's do the exercise. I love doing this because it proves every single time when JG says some dumb shit like this. JG, guess what? You've just become CEO of Bungie, and now you have to turn it around. What are you doing?
Bro.
What are you doing? What's the plan?
Will Sony give me more money?
Can I try to make Destiny again? I don't know.
You got to prototype something. What are you prototyping? You got to show me something.
I'm prototyping a Marathon campaign that gets people into the lore in the world and then gently pushes them into the extraction mode.
JG?
Try to make another FPS. That's not a BR. There's not an extraction. Something.
TBH?
Also, I'm adding a roguelike, permanent roguelike mode, fully fleshed out.
What would I do if I was CEO of Bungie?
Let me tell you on the clock. You got a year. What you gonna do?
I'm doing a hard pivot. I'm pulling like a respawn. I'm gonna do something completely different. Maybe like a third person action game, kind of like how they did with Star Wars. Something nobody would expect, because at bare minimum, like I feel like Marathon fought an uphill battle just from like a talking standpoint. Like I never really felt like it was fully in the zeitgeist, if that makes sense. Like gamers knew what Marathon was, but I don't really feel like it reached that point where everybody was talking about it. So I think Bungie needs to do a full blown 180 pivot and just something that's not a first person shooter that's going to make them stand out.
I love how we had 3 people give their opinion. They're all drastically different plans. So it kind of proves the point. It's like it's a monster. I don't think anyone knows. And anyone sits there and be like,
who knows?
Who knows?
This is the thing, is that the industry is so different now, and it's so volatile that any of these things could work. It could not work. It could be, because it's also so much about timing as well. And what are people doing? What are people playing? If you hit at the perfect time with the perfect thing that people are looking for, like you can pop off. But that's, you can't plan that.
Yeah, and the worst part is that Sony CEO said he wants to double down on live service games. So after the failure of Bungie as well as Concord, I gotta ask, do y'all think that upcoming Horizon live service game? Do you
That's
think?
dead. That's so dead. It's so
It makes me
dead.
so sad because it's
It's
like
so
actually kind of fire.
I don't even think it's for the
It's so
chance.
dead.
I'm not gonna say why, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna.
I'm under NDA, but I
don't think it's gonna live.
I agree with Watts. I actually think there's some cool stuff the game does, but I'm telling you right now, the sentiment behind live service and
The
behind
sentiment
specifically
is so
Sony,
bad.
they are not going to give it a chance. You think Marathon to get a chance? Oh my God, they are going to hit this game from every culture war, live service. Fuck Sony.
How many $200 million L's do
They
they
gonna
need to
kill it.
take before they say maybe we should pivot?
Because it doesn't.
That's what
matter.
I'm saying. I mean, but Ito said that they made so much money that they can take these L's. But again, like, how many do you need to take before you finally realize?
I tell people this all the time. When people say that, well, how long? You got to think of it. I tell people this all the time. You got to think of it like Marvel Endgame. You got to think of it like the one. That's that. I'm not even joking. That's literally it. You have to think of it like Doctor Strange telling Iron Man, one. There's one chance.
It's a 1 in a
That's
million
literally how
chance,
they-
but we only need one.
We just
only need one.
That's
all those other
nasty.
all the other multiverses where by service they all flop, but we just need the one where it pops off.
All right, I got one for you. Here's the one, Sony. Live service SOCOM. Bring it back. There you go. You're welcome.
No. No.
Bring
No,
SOCOM
God,
back.
Man,
You could do
Horizon
Jack.
is all.
Jack and Dexter. Do you think they did
Live
like a
service
game?
Jack and Dexter.
Live service
Fuck you,
Jack and
Ethos.
Dexter.
Like, no.
Well, let him die. Let it be alone. Hell
Live
no.
service. Live. You know what's crazy? This is the crazy thing. When they leaked that Spider-Man live service, I thought that shit was fire.
I thought it
was
looked decent too.
Why
did
did
look
y'all not
decent.
do this? I can't believe they canceled that, bro.
I
That's
said
beyond-
Spider-Man 2 should have been co-op. That's what it took it to the next level.
that-
But I'm like, okay, y'all did the live service instead. We could do that. They didn't do it. I'm like, what?
With Silk and all of them, and even Venom was going to be like an anti-hero. Like that could have been really cool. Like so.
Mhm.
That's an actual one they
cancel the ones people want, Spider-Man factions,
Yeah.
and they keep the shit nobody's asking
and they
for.
keep the shit no one's asking for. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes
And
sense.
potentially God of War. Yeah, going back to Horizon, they already put that on the Concordian timeline, so you know what that means.
Oh, they did. They
Oh,
put it on.
yeah.
Was there a new image that came
It
out?
has a
Oh, I
fucking
missed
minute.
it.
That game on the
And a
list.
man with an afro.
Concordian timeline.
Before
update.
the game came out, they were already throwing that comic. Like they needed Marathon.
That sucks as a dev. Like we're in this era where people are already decided your shit's trash without even touching it. They don't even get a puncher's chance. That sucks, man.
Nope. It sucks.
Yeah.
This is the world we live in. We gotta adjust to it. This is unfortunately.
Hey, but Lisa, Sea of
Mhm.
Thieves movie is coming. You might see of Thieves. Sea of Thieves.
Again,
Like, so what is it?
like-
Just like a pirate movie? Just like
Yeah,
I
pirate.
was like,
I would
is it just
assume
like
so.
You know what?
Um,
It's
just
just like
like-
Pirates of the Caribbean.
like
That could be
pirate.
fire.
Maybe.
Get the homeboy.
That's
Get
what
him
they
to
do
come
with
back.
it, I guess.
Could be cool. I guess.
Pirates are back, I
Apparently.
guess.
Apparently, Microsoft just want to go all in on turning their video games into movies. This is the
I
second
guess
one.
so, yeah.
I'm good
I
off
mean,
this.
it could be anything because it's just a pirate movie. You know, it's not.
I'm just gonna see it. These is the title, starring Chris Pratt or somebody.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for you guys on the show notes. You have anything else you want to add before we wrap this one up?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Ladies first. You got the floor. What's your closing statement for Game Illuminati episode 196, Watts?
I'm gonna give a shout out to a game called Erosion. It just entered its playtest, so you can sign up to playtest it for free. So go ahead and get your invites going. Also, if you do get invited to play the playtest, you can invite 3 other
Is this
people.
is a cowboy game?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm on
this
the
is
right
the cowboy, like really dope art style. It's a roguelike. It's basically the cool thing that they're doing is so your daughter gets kidnapped and then you're basically trying to fight to get back to her, but you have 3 tries in each timeline. And then if you fail, it goes 10 years in the future. So you're fighting against the time of your daughter, you know, I guess dying. She can't live
It's like
forever.
a cowboy seafood almost.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
it's
just-
it's really
ages.
interesting. It's really interesting, and the art style is freaking gorgeous. I love it so much.
What's it
so
called
I'm
again?
keeping an eye on it. It's called Erosion.
It's on Steam.
Erosion.
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
It
Steam.
looks decent.
Get in the playtest. It's cool.
Cool. Ethos, closing statement for episode 196. Go.
Okay. I'm gonna be very political to finish this off.
Okay.
Go for it.
Look, for everyone listening, August 4th is the primary day for Michigan. So anybody who's in Michigan, anybody who's in Detroit, who's a listener, you have the chance to primary. And I can't stress enough, especially now, you guys just saw recently, especially what happened in New York, primary is very important now. You have a chance to actually change the tide of who we put into the government, specifically, especially right now. If you're tired of a lot of the bullshit that we're dealing with right now, I'm actually going to endorse somebody this year for the first time ever. You're getting an ethos endorsement for whatever that's worth. I am endorsing, and they're kind of getting national attention right now, but I'm endorsing Dr. Abdul El Sayed. I've been reading up about him for like the past year and a half since he started running. He is one of the like DSA slanted Democratic Socialists that's running for Michigan for the U.S. Senate.
Is he co-signed by Mondamni?
He is co-signed by Bernie Sanders, and yeah, he's in that area same too. He believes in three things, which I'm like, I rocks with all this. He wants money out of politics, so no, he takes no corporate PAC money. He's also takes no APAC money whatsoever. He says so that. Voting against basically taking money out of politics especially from corporations, money in your pocket. So supporting basically investing in Michigan, investing in basically America, not APAC. And last but not least, Medicare of all. And his background is he's a doctor. He's worked in the medical field for a very long time. So this is not some like regular person. Like this is a person who has the experience, who's done the work. And like I've listened to a lot of stuff that he said. And he's like the best chance we've got compared to the other options. The other two are so crazy APAC, it's insane. So I'm not saying, you have to vote for him. I'm just saying hear him out, or better yet, look up his platform, check out his website. I will be doing some volunteering for his campaign coming up. So
no.
Fingers crossed. Hope he
It's
gets it.
it's nice to see something positive coming out of Michigan, especially after what Dearborn did. We ain't forget.
Yo.
We didn't forget what Dearborn, Michigan did.
Yep, we know. Yep. So check them out.
Cool. All right, Jay, what's your closing statement for episode 196? Go.
No, one of the other arguments that has been swirling around this whole GTA and Steam machine debate has been how much games were back in the 90s. And yes, I do know that some of these games were $70, $80, $90. They were actually all over the place. You know what I was doing in the 90s? I was not looking at those prices because I didn't have any money. I didn't have a job. So I looked at my mother, and my mother was like, I'm not getting this. And you know why she most likely didn't buy me all those games? Because they were too damn high. We're back at this point where games are potentially, going to be $80 again. But now we have responsibilities. We have money because we are the grown-ups now.
I'm just curious, is that for you? Like, are you getting like a 180 experience now, JG? Like if you have your kids start asking you for specific games, you're like, yeah, not this month, or are you just like, I get it from?
I mean, I'm blessed to at least be at the point where I can, but I understand why my mom didn't back then, and I understand, and I understand why a lot of other parents did not back then. Because again, like $80 today is not the same as $80 back then. It's actually more. So you got to put that into account as well. I tell people all the time, like what I used to do. My mom didn't want to buy me any video games. You give me 1 to 2 per year. Going back to the whole, Christmas time argument. It's the only time that I can get video games. Is I utilize Blockbuster a lot, like a crap ton, to rent my games. I say that to say this. I probably wouldn't be playing, I wouldn't have played a ton of games if it wasn't for that, but I was able to utilize, or at least, have my mom, almost every week with like, hey, can I get $5 to go and rent this game, play it for 7 days, take it back? I was able to beat these games. So, I did what I had to do. I don't want you all to go out spending your hard-earned cash on a piece of entertainment, because again, it is not essential for you to live. I get how people feel about certain things, but even with the Xbox argument, like how dare them introduce payment plans? Like, we know that they're there, but you're showing people, hey, we have payment plans now. Just please be responsible with your money, and voting with your wallet can change things. I don't know why you all feel like it doesn't. They can change things. Please vote with your wallet. Stop being corporate shells and just giving your money to things that will not, at the end of the day, benefit you.
I just opened up an inflation calculator and I typed in $80 in January of 1999 compared to 2026. It's $163.
Oh my god!
We used to be that's 1999 too. It's probably worse if I go back 90. Like we used to be a country with morals and shit, bro. What happened?
Oof. That hurt my soul.
But yeah, my closing statement. I'm not gonna be political. I'm not gonna preach in my face until I turn blue talking about macro or group economics because I know y'all not gonna listen. I'm just going to say that on the timeline, as of an hour ago, reports are coming in that the Warriors are attempting to trade for Anthony Davis as ahead of the board at the Washington Wizards. We accept this trade so long as you guys give us some draft picks back. I need to see the paperwork, but Davis has made it very clear that he doesn't want to be here, and I'm cool with that. We don't want him either because he doesn't play half the season, more than half the season anyway. So, and we got Alex Sarr. We could just probably pick up another big. So Wizards, go ahead and try to just get as much as possible out of the Warriors. I don't know how much they have to offer, but and make sure keep Jimmy Butler. We don't want him. But yeah, that's my as the head of the coalition of the Wizards Nation. Hashtag DC Rising. I appreciate everybody who put that in the comments last podcast. Don't come over here when we start winning. Other than that, I appreciate everybody who came through to the Game Illuminaughty podcast. This has been episode 196. Make sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify, and be sure to hit the like button as well as the hype button, because when we hit that hype charts, the show grows. Other than that, we'll see you next week on the Game Illuminaughty podcast. Peace.